I married Xun'er, but she refuses to consummate the marriage. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 226 Soul Jade. He is the #1 genius of the contemporary era. Who doesn't know that? The wild ancient domain is located outside the northeast of Zhangzhou. It won't take Gu long to get there from the ancient realm. During this period of time, Gu also saw a huge flow of people heading in the same direction as him. Obviously, the goal of these people is to rush to the wild ancient domain. The attraction of the ancient body tree made these guys forget the horror of the wild ancient domain. Mangwang Town is the human city closest to the wild ancient domain, but there are not many people living here normally. Moreover, because of the fierce reputation of the wild ancient domain, few people come here. Therefore, this town is almost deserted all year round. But now it is different. The birth of the ancient body tree has attracted countless people, and this deserted town has suddenly become extremely popular. The world is bustling, all for profit. Looking at the huge flow of people gathered here, Gu sighed lightly. Most of them entered the wild ancient domain just to become cannon fodder. Otherwise, the space trade fair would not deliberately announce such news. At this moment, in front of Gu's sight, there is a primeval forest filled with ancient atmosphere. Huge trees with hundreds of feet in height stand here like giants. The shade of the trees covers the sky, and even the sunlight in the sky is difficult to pour in. Looking at the depths of the forest, there is a heart-pounding darkness, and occasionally there are roars of beasts filled with ferocious beasts, which makes people feel cold. After the voice fell, Gu did not stop at all. He wrapped himself with the power of space. He rushed straight into the ancient forest. On the outskirts of the forest, the air was filled with poisonous insects that were so small that they could not be seen by the naked eye, but they were not a threat to Gu. On the ground of this forest, there were many corpses, many of which died of poison. Looking at these, Gu did not have any compassion. Since these people chose to come here, it means that they are ready to die. Because he was carrying the body seed, Gu could roughly sense the direction of the ancient body tree. An hour later, he came to the central area of the wild ancient domain. The beasts here are different from those in the outside world. Although they are powerful, they have low intelligence, which also causes some beasts of the 7th or even 8th order to not transform. Bang, bang. As Gu entered the middle of the wild ancient domain, there were beasts that were fearless and rushed towards him with their bloody mouths wide open. However, when these beasts approached Gu within 100 feet, they would be shattered to death by force. After a few hours, Gu came to a place called the Ancient Domain Terrace. It is said that in ancient times, the Ancient Domain Terrace was once an ancient battlefield, and many powerful people had fallen here. Therefore, there was a strange pressure here. And it was this pressure that made this place the only place in the wild ancient domain that the beasts dared not set foot on. In addition, this ancient domain terrace is located at the junction of the middle and deep parts of the wild ancient domain. From here, you can directly enter the depths of the ancient domain. So this place was chosen by many forces as the safest place to stay in the wild ancient domain. At this moment, there were already many figures standing in this huge square. Who is this person, who actually came here alone? In a corner of the square, a girl dressed in a colorful dress, exuding a noble temperament, looked at Gu in surprise and spoke. This girl, named Xun'er, is from the Tianyao clan. Because she has the attributes of wind and thunder, she has been studying in the Fengalai Pavilion in the past few years. In the Tianyao clan, she is also considered a genius. Coming into the wild ancient domain alone, he is just another cannon fodder. Next to this woman, a man with colorful pupils said with disdain, "Jai Ufeng, be careful with your words." As soon as the man with colorful pupils finished speaking, a man in black clothes next to him reminded him with fear, "I didn't expect that Gu would come to the wild ancient domain in person. This is troublesome." The man in black looked at Gu with fear in his eyes. "Huniu, do you know that person?" the man with colorful pupils asked in confusion. Gu Fei of the ancient clan is known as the #1 genius of the contemporary era. Who doesn't know him? Hunyu spoke slowly, with fear and jealousy in his words. Is he Gu Fei? Upon hearing this, Jiu Feng and Feng Qing'er's faces changed drastically. Obviously, they had also heard of Gu Fei's name. In the sky, Gu Fei also noticed that those people below were looking at him. However, facing the gaze of a group of ants, Gu Fei would not care at all. After passing through the beast-tide area in front, you can see the ancient body tree. Gu Fei did not stop and continued to move forward. What? He actually attacked the beast-tide alone. Jiu Feng's face changed drastically. He and Hunyu had brought people to this ancient domain platform a long time ago, but they did not enter. Instead, they wanted to wait for more cannon fodder to come to clear the way for them and create opportunities. No, Gu Fei said Sheng. With him here, the opportunity of the body tree will definitely be taken away by him. Hunyu's face changed, and then he gritted his teeth and took out a space jade slip and crushed it. After the space jade slip was crushed, a space crack slowly emerged behind Hunyu. From it, a powerful aura came out secretly. The elders of the Hun clan actually want to intervene in this matter? Looking at Hunyu's actions, Jiu Feng's eyes changed slightly. He didn't expect that Gu Fei's actions could make a genius like Hunyu so afraid. Such a strong man. Even the elders of the Tian Yao Huang clan have to treat him with caution. Gu Fei sighed. After crossing a lush mountain, a black plain with no end in sight appeared in his sight. Above the endless plain, black clouds filled the air, and on the ground, huge beasts filled the eyeballs, densely packed like a blood-red ocean. The roars and howls filled with violence, like thunder, echoed endlessly in this world. Looking for death, as Gu Fei stepped into the sky, countless ferocious beasts rushed towards him. Gu Fei raised his hand and slapped it, and a vacuum zone suddenly appeared in front of him. Countless ferocious beasts were killed in groups. The roars of the ferocious beasts when they died echoed endlessly in this world. With Gu Fei's strength, even if more ferocious beasts came to block the way, they would only become cannon fodder. Soon, Gu Fei passed through the area covered by the beast tide. He looked forward and saw that, about a few thousand feet away, an ancient tree with a huge shade was standing alone on this vast plain. A clear air rippled above the ancient tree, sometimes changing into various shapes, which seemed magical and unpredictable. Is this the legendary body tree? Chapter 227 Xun'er, Brother Gu Fei, let's go to the bridal chamber. Are the Cheng here? Gu Fei didn't look back, but he clearly understood that the Soul Clan had sent a Cheng-level warrior to chase him. Ancient body tree? At this moment, a group of figures behind him couldn't help but let out a series of exclamations. The leader was an old man in a black robe, who had reached the 3-star Cheng level, and it was under the cover of this Soul Clan Cheng that Hunyu, Jiu Feng and others successfully broke through the beast-tide area. The ancient body tree, this kind of thing that is in the legend, even Hunyu and others, who are people of the ancient race, have never seen it. It is only in some ancient books that they can occasionally see descriptions. What a big tree! Even though it is very far away from the ancient body tree, Hunyu can still feel the size of the ancient body tree. The shade of the tree spread all over the sky and earth, like an ancient sacred object standing in the time of heaven and earth, filled with antiquity and vicissitudes. Gu Fei, the treasures like the body tree are not something your ancient clan can get their hands on. Gu Fei paused for a moment, and the people behind him had already caught up. At this moment, the Soul Clan Cheng looked at Gu Fei with a sinister look, and released a murderous intent without concealment. However, Gu Fei's reputation was known to everyone, so he did not dare to act trashly for the time being. Since you Soul Clan want to take the treasure, then go and take it, Gu Fei said calmly facing the group of Soul Clan people. What does he mean by this? Hearing Gu Fei's words, Hunyu and the black-robed old man all showed a hint of doubt on their faces. They looked at the body tree. At this moment, Hunyu and others watched the body tree from a close distance, which was undoubtedly another shocking sight. Its huge trunk of thousands of feet was like a pillar connecting the sky and the earth. On the trunk of the ancient tree, there was a dense ancient aura. The shade of the body tree was extremely huge, and it could cover a small part of a city when it spread out. A stream of extremely rich and clear air spread out from the ancient body tree, rippling in the sky, causing all kinds of magical images to change from time to time in the sky. The sunlight in the sky poured down at this moment, shining on the ancient tree, and there was a sense of exquisiteness and translucence, a strong vitality that was enough to shock everyone spread out. The ancient body tree is a natural treasure that is enough to rank among the top 3 in the Gu continent. If you say it is not dangerous, it is probably impossible. Plus, if this ancient tree has really survived for countless years, it should have developed its own wisdom. Han Yu's eyes showed hesitation. He guessed that Gu Fei must know something by doing this and wanted to trick them. In his opinion, if this ancient body tree developed intelligence and practiced, it would undoubtedly be one of the most terrifying creatures in the Gu continent. With the people here, they might not be enough for it. Since you don't dare to take these treasures, then they will all belong to me. Seeing that the people of the Soul Clan did not move, Gu Fei smiled disdainfully. Then he walked straight towards the ancient tree. Follow me. The people of the Soul Clan followed closely behind Gu Fei. Soon, Han Yu and his men noticed that there was a bright light about 100 feet away from the trunk of the huge ancient body tree. This light was like a huge energy heart, faintly emitting a powerful beating sound. Body heart. One after another, their eyes focused on the light hidden in the huge tree. Everyone's heart beat fiercely at this moment. Quick, rush up. Don't let Gu Fei take away the body heart. Seeing this scene, everyone ignored their previous worries and rushed forward. At this moment, the ancient body tree that had been standing quietly on the grassland suddenly made a subtle rustling sound. Soon, everyone saw that the dense branches were entangled together and fell from the shade of the tree. When these branches touched the ground, they slowly split apart, and 5 figures stepped out slowly from them with expressionless faces. However, these 5 figures had no vitality in their bodies, and were obviously puppets. Just 5 semi-saints. Such an obstruction is simply unbearable for the saint. The Soul Clan Dashing was full of disdain. With a casual move, he smashed all 5 semi-saint puppets. However, even so, as they got closer and closer to the ancient body tree, everyone became extremely nervous. They didn't know if the ancient body tree would have any tricks, and it was this unknown that made people worried. Gu Fei's footsteps never slowed down, and he came straight to the bottom of the tree trunk. Swish! At this moment, the tree body, which was 100 feet high, suddenly burst into brilliant light, covering everyone in it. Then, the light column quickly shrank, and with a whoosh, it retracted into the tree body like lightning. Gu Fei, including the Soul Clan and the Sky Demon Phoenix Clan, all disappeared on the spot. The white light filled the vision. Gu Fei stood in this white light world. There was no one around. At this moment, the world around him began to change rapidly. Soon, he found a woman in a bridal outfit standing in front of him. Xun'er? Looking at the familiar face of the woman in red, Gu Fei couldn't help but frown. Xun'er in front of him had the same makeup as when they got married. Brother Gu Fei, we have already been married. Let's go to the bridal chamber. Brother Gu Fei, haven't you been looking forward to this day for a long time? Xun'er slowly took off her clothes. Her beautiful skin like white jade, coupled with her extraordinary face, can indeed make most men excited. In the surrounding space, the scenes of Gu Fei pursuing Xun'er kept appearing. These scenes seemed to be happening in real life, and people could not see any flaws. Body tree, if you think this is my weakness, you are wrong. Gu Fei's eyes were cold. Even though Xun'er was naked at this time, her body was on top of him, doing all kinds of ambiguous and seductive actions. He did not react at all. The next moment, a body seed appeared in Gu Fei's hand. With the appearance of the body seed, a clear air was generated around it, and the charming scene disappeared at this moment. This piece of heaven and earth suddenly twisted violently, and finally, like a broken mirror, it burst open with a bang. When this piece of heaven and earth burst open, Gu Fei's eyes suddenly blurred, and he found himself in a space full of green. In this space, an ancient tree about 10 feet tall stood there as if it had existed forever. Chapter 228 The ancient body tree asks for help. Obtain Bodhisattva. This tree is emerald green, as if it is made of the finest jade. It is exactly the same as the huge ancient body tree in the outside world, which is thousands of feet tall, except that it looks smaller by countless times. As Gu Fei watched, the ancient body tree, which was emerald green, trembled slightly, and balls of light flew out of its body. The balls of light changed, and various images came out of it. It was Hanu, Jiu Feng, Feng Xun'er and others who had entered the ancient body tree together before. Obviously, they were all trapped in their own illusions and could not break free. At this moment, Hanu was experiencing the pleasure of stepping on Hun Fei, another divine bloodline of the Soul Clan, and finally becoming the patriarch of the Soul Clan. And Jiu Feng was similar to Hanu. In the illusion, he successfully inherited the position of the patriarch of the heavenly demon Phoenix clan, and also became one of the few 9-starred Shang Peak powerhouses in this world. It was really cool. This illusion is really powerful. Fortunately, I have a body seed on me, Gu Fei sighed in his heart. Hualala. At this time, the ancient body tree shook again, and a ball of light emerged. Inside the ball of light, there was an ancient body tree that was 10,000 feet tall. In the air, a figure dressed in black stood in the air. A breath like the supreme power of heaven and earth slowly spread out from the body. At this moment, Gu Fei's eyes were fixed on the back of the black-clothed figure. In the world, who else can have this feeling except the D who only exists in the legend? In the ball of light, the black figure suddenly began to attack the ancient body tree. Facing his attack, the ancient body tree also exuded a terrible energy. In this terrible confrontation, even the world collapsed. At this moment, Gu Fei's eyes also showed shock. In the ball of light, the image danced faster and faster, and finally stopped at the last scene. The black figure was suddenly hit hard by a destructive wind that swept from outside the ball of light. Hiss! Looking at the black figure that exploded into nothingness, Gu Fei's heart suddenly jumped violently. Obviously, the previous sudden attack should have been launched by a Daodi strongman who was as powerful as the black-clothed Daodi. Under the joint efforts of the body ancient tree and another mysterious Daodi, the black-clothed Daodi was just shaken into nothingness. Is this the power of the Daodi? Gu Fei's eyes twitched. Today, he actually saw two of these powerful people who almost only existed in legends. Although this was just an image, the unique supreme aura still made people's souls tremble. In the light ball, after the black-clothed Daodi fell, a trace of black airflow suddenly emerged in the void. When these airflows appeared, they quickly rushed into the ancient body tree. As these airflows entered, the clear air that permeated the ancient body tree was faintly added with a touch of obscure coldness. This ancient body tree has existed since ancient times, but after countless years of sedimentation, this ancient body tree has not evolved a complete spiritual intelligence. Because the more powerful a creature is, the more difficult it is to transform into a spirit and evolve spiritual intelligence. Just like in the original work, the 9 mysterious golden thunder and the void thunder pool is comparable to the 7-starred Sheng, and it almost took his life when he passed the spiritual transformation tribulation. At the moment when the black-clothed emperor fell, some of his negative emotions gathered together and invaded the ancient body tree, and these so-called negative emotions have gradually eroded the ancient body tree over countless years. This is why the simple spiritual intelligence of the ancient body tree began to lean towards darkness and coldness. In other words, the ancient body tree was affected by the negative emotions of the emperor, and that illusion was automatically condensed because of this evil emotion. Over the countless years, I don't know how many strong people have lost themselves in the illusion. The current ancient body tree has 2 spiritual intelligences, one of which originally belonged to it, which can be called kind spiritual intelligence. The other one was caused by the negative emotions of the black-clothed Daodi. This kind of spiritual wisdom tended to be evil. You want me to help you dispel that evil spiritual wisdom, right? Gu Fei looked at the green ancient tree in front of him and said calmly. Obviously, the ancient body tree should have sensed that he was carrying a strange fire. Wow! The ancient tree swayed in response to Gu Fei's words, as if nodding. Wow! Wow! As soon as Gu Fei finished speaking, another ball of light emerged from the ancient tree. In the ball of light, a ball of flame emerged, and then a body seed appeared. The flame refined the body seed, and a clear air appeared, and finally drilled into the body of the ancient tree. I can help you, Gu Fei responded with a smile. The next moment, green light spots flew out from the body of the ancient body tree, and finally floated in front of Gu Fei. These light spots were all body seeds. Although body seeds were not as terrifying as body hearts, they could be refined into elixirs to increase the success rate of becoming a semi-saint. It's extravagant enough. So many body seeds are only used to dispel evil thoughts. I'm afraid countless people on the mainland will say that it's a waste of natural resources. Looking at so many body seeds, Gu Fei smiled, and then, with a thought, the strange fire rose up and wrapped a body seed. This refining lasted for more than 10 minutes, and the body seed gradually turned into a ball of crystal clear liquid. The liquid slowly evaporated and turned into a wisp of fresh air with a little emerald green. As this wisp of fresh air poured in, the ancient body tree suddenly trembled, and a very thin black air seeped out. In the following time, almost every hour, a body seed would be refined by Gu Fei. The ancient body tree also emitted extremely excited emotional fluctuations at this time. As the last trace of black air dissipated, the ancient body tree, which was like emerald jade, suddenly emitted a buzzing sound. Immediately, the ancient tree's green light flourished. The already rich vitality here became even richer. Is it completely cleared? Gu Fei looked at the ancient body tree. The latter at this moment was undoubtedly more verdant than before. It gave people a strange feeling of peace, holiness and wisdom. After the ancient tree recovered, it shook its branches at Gu Fei, and that look was like the etiquette of kowtow among humans. I have helped you so much. How do you want to thank me specifically? When the ancient body tree kowtowed, Gu Fei suddenly asked, not hiding his purpose. After Gu Fei's voice fell, the ancient body tree understood what he meant and shook its branches again. Then, countless branches began to wrap Gu Fei, and a beating strange green heart appeared in front of Gu Fei. Chapter 229, Contemplation under the Body Tree, Reincarnation for Hundreds of Lifetimes. In the following time, Gu Fei began to sit cross-legged on the body seat and practiced in peace. The branches of the ancient body tree tightly wrapped Gu Fei's body. Then, the ancient body tree shook its branches, and a strange wave spread out. The space here suddenly tore open one space after another, and among them, a series of embarrassed figures were vomited out. These people were Hanu and others who had entered the ancient tree with Gu Fei before. Because the negative emotions of Di in the body of the ancient body tree had been cleared. Therefore, it was kind by nature and would naturally not take the initiative to hurt anyone again. What's the situation? Where is this? I just became. How could I appear in this place? At this moment, everyone's face changed, and many people's faces were still faintly frightened. Obviously, they all understood that everything they had experienced before was an illusion. What a terrible ancient body tree! The Chang strong man from the Soul clan who came this time was also unable to remain calm at this moment. If it hadn't been for this incident, I'm afraid he would have stayed in that illusion for a lifetime and finally turned into a walking corpse. Live like the 5 semi-saint puppets that appeared under the ancient body tree before. Hanu also looked grim. Before, he had already sat in the position of the leader of the Soul clan in the illusion space. Now that he knew that all this was just an illusion, he could not help but feel disappointed. Ancient body tree and Gu Fei. After adjusting his mentality, Hanu carefully observed this space. Suddenly, he was surprised. He found the small ancient tree standing in the space, which was like emerald. Moreover, there was a figure sitting cross-legged in the ancient tree, as if it was isolated from everything. Seeing this scene, Hanu and others' faces changed. According to some ancient books, there are 3 treasures in the ancient body tree. One is the body mind, the second is the body seed, and the third is the enlightenment under the body tree. The first 2 are not difficult to explain, they are all things contained in the ancient body tree itself. But this third one is relatively more illusory. The ancient body tree, also known as the wisdom reincarnation tree, is said to have the miraculous effect of allowing people to practice reincarnation for hundreds of lifetimes. Those who have experienced this kind of reincarnation training have the potential to become deity. Although this is just a legend, however, there are still countless strong people who are crazy about this illusory legend. He actually got this legendary great opportunity by meditating under the body tree. Exclamations came out one after another. These people, including several people from the Sky Demon Phoenix clan, have naturally heard of the body 3 treasures. Damn it, how could it be? How could he get the upper hand? Han Yu's face was gloomy, and at this moment he couldn't help but feel jealous. This great benefit was actually given to the genius of the ancient clan, the mortal enemy of the Soul Clan. Elder, what should we do? Han Yu asked the Soul Clan elder with the strength of a 3-starred Sheng beside him gloomily. We can't get this opportunity, and we can't let our clan's greatest enemy get it. The face of the Soul Clan elder was equally cold. Gu Fei is a proud member of the ancient clan, and he may become even more powerful after this. The elder of the Soul Clan snorted coldly, and then released a cloud of black mist from his palm. The black mist quickly turned into several black chains, and fiercely slapped Gu Fei, who was sitting cross-legged in the tree. Obviously, he wanted to force Gu Fei to wake up from that state. Bang! The fierce attack of the Soul Clan Sheng fell on the ancient body tree, and a subtle muffled sound was heard. Before the smug smile on his face appeared, he suddenly felt an extremely terrible force, which surged out from the place of attack. Puff! Under such a terrible force rebound, a look of horror suddenly appeared in the eyes of the elder of the Soul Clan. Before he could retreat, the black chain broke into pieces. Then, a terrible force rushed into the body of the Soul Clan Sheng along the chain, and all the Qi defenses were destroyed at this moment. At that moment, his body flew backwards like a kite with a broken string. He spat out a mouthful of blood, drawing a bloody arc in the air. Seeing the Soul Clan Sheng, who was completely defeated in almost an instant, everyone present was stunned. Unexpectedly, the body ancient tree actually had such a huge power that it was directly immune to the attacks of Sheng powerhouses. Damn it! The Soul Clan Sheng stood up in a panic. His eyes were full of fear. Even as a 3-starred Sheng, he was like a child in front of this ancient body tree. It seems that the ancient body tree is protecting Gu Fei. Why is the relationship between Gu Fei and the ancient body tree so good? What happened before? Han Yu knew that the previous counterattack force was definitely emitted by the ancient body tree. He already understood that the elders of the 3-starred Sheng could not hurt a branch here. Even if all the people here were added together, it would be impossible to shake the ancient body tree. Seeing that they could not stop Gu Fei from practicing inside, the people here gradually quieted down. As time passed, these people gradually became uneasy and manic. After all, no one wants to be locked up in this space for a lifetime. If so, what is the difference between them and prisoners? At the same time, in the wild ancient domain, there are many forces and casual cultivators who are happy to run towards the ancient body tree. On the ancient domain stage, countless continental strongmen and Xun gathered, and the number reached nearly 1,000. This number is quite terrifying. Everyone, if you want to rush through the beast tide, you must gather everyone's strength. People with great power began to speak. In the original book, it was organized by the Soul Jade, but this time, the people of the Soul Clan entered the ancient body tree early, but others also thought of this method. They attracted a large number of cannon fodder to resist the beast tide for them. In the crowd, there was a slender figure wearing a black hat to cover his face. This person was Xun'er, who ran out secretly. With her speed, it was impossible for her to keep up with Gu Fei's pace. After a lot of hardships, she finally reached the ancient domain platform. Without the protection of the Sheng, no matter how many of them there were, they could not match the densely packed beasts on the Black Plain. For a while, the battle was extremely tragic, and countless human warriors were buried in the belly of the beasts. I will definitely make it. Xun'er's cultivation was also at the top level among this group of people, so she was the last to benefit and did not become cannon fodder. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 230, Return to the Reincarnation, the Peak of 4-starred Sheng. Inside the ancient body tree, in the frenzy caused by extreme boredom, someone noticed that the figure sitting cross-legged in the ancient body tree suddenly trembled slightly. Immediately, the eyes that had been closed for a month slowly opened under the gaze of surprised eyes. Everyone looked at the pair of dark eyes in the ancient tree. For a moment, Everyone seemed to feel a kind of vicissitudes of seeing through everything in the world. This sense of vicissitudes has penetrated into the human soul and cannot be pretended. This guy's eyes are so creepy. Even some old predecessors in my clan have never had such a sense of vicissitudes. They had only seen people who could practice under the body tree in ancient books. Therefore, they had no idea what changes would happen. Under the gaze of many eyes, Gu Fei's eyes filled with vicissitudes began to slowly emerge with some agility. Finally back, Gu Fei slowly opened his mouth. A voice with an ancient breath came out softly from the ancient body tree. Anyone who heard his voice couldn't help but change their expression slightly. He slowly stood up, and waves appeared on the surface of his body, like liquid, slowly passing through the extremely hard branches of the ancient body tree and blending in. In the eyes of outsiders, Gu Fei seemed to have only spent a month in the ancient tree, but he himself knew that his soul had experienced hundreds of reincarnations and trials in the ancient body tree. If it weren't for his firm mind, he would probably have been lost in that reincarnation. But fortunately, in the end, he always stood firm in his original intention, and finally, he came back again. In this month, Gu Fei's cultivation also ushered in amazing changes. Before entering, he was only a 3-starred Sheng in the early stage, and now, he has climbed to the late stage of 4-starred Sheng. Such a span, some Sheng masters who have reached this level may not be able to achieve it in decades or hundreds of years, but Gu Fei completed it in just 1 month. If you tell others, I'm afraid even those top masters will be envious. This person has been practicing for a month, and it seems that there has been a huge change. The eyes of the soul-cleansed Sheng strong men were full of fear. Thank you. Gu Fei didn't care about the reactions of others. He turned his head and looked at the ancient body tree behind him, bowed and smiled. Huawa. In response to Gu Fei's thanks, the ancient body tree shook its body, making a huawa sound, which made everyone marvel. Buzz. Just as everyone's thoughts were surging in their hearts, a piece of emerald green light suddenly burst out from the ancient body tree, and it seemed that something was about to burst out. Seeing the ancient body tree's actions, everyone hurriedly retreated. They had already experienced the terrifying degree of the former, so they naturally did not dare to be negligent. As they retreated, a series of subtle muffled sounds suddenly came from the ancient body tree. Immediately, a piece of emerald green light sprayed out from it, and finally floated in this space like a fairy scattering flowers. Body seeds. Seeing these light spots, everyone was stunned at first, and then shocked voices suddenly blurted out, all of them are body seeds. Han Yu and others were also shocked to look at the emerald green light spots. It was unimaginable. These extremely rare body seeds were sprayed out by the ancient body tree at once, nearly 20 of them. Grab. After being shocked, most people's eyes turned blood red. Hee. Seeing the red eyes of Han Yu and others, Gu Fei smiled. He waved his palm, and those green light spots were like being summoned, and with a whoosh, they dodged those people's grasp. In a few flashes, they all gathered in Gu Fei's palm. Thank you, brother body, for the gift. Grabbing these body seeds, Gu Fei turned his head and laughed at the ancient body tree. Gu Fei, we entered the ancient body tree together, but now you want to take all the body seeds away. It's a bit too much. Seeing this scene, the Soul Clan Sheng said with a gloomy face. That's right, so many body seeds should be distributed equally among everyone. After he said this, Jai Ufeng, the young patriarch of the Sky Demon Phoenix clan, immediately stood up to express his support for the Soul Clan. Haha, if you want body seeds, let's see if you have the ability. Listening to the words of the Soul Clan and the Sky Demon Phoenix clan, Gu Fei's eyes showed a strong disdain. With his current strength, he can easily destroy these people. HMPH, how can you resist all of us with your own strength? I advise you to be sensible, otherwise you will die on the spot. The Soul Clan Sheng continued to speak, his voice full of threats. You are looking for death. Hearing this, Gu Fei immediately had a killing intention, and in a flash, he rushed to the Soul Clan Sheng 2 feet away. Bang! The Soul Clan Sheng was in a hurry and had no time to dodge. He used all his fighting spirit to build a defense. Gu Fei's fist also hit the black protective wall that was built at this time. In just a moment, the seemingly incomparably solid energy wall was broken. The heavy punch penetrated the energy wall and hit the Soul Clan Sheng's chest. Ah! With a shrill scream, The Soul Clan Sheng's body flew backwards in an instant. Hiss! Seeing that Gu Fei defeated the Soul Clan's 3-starred Sheng with just one move, everyone took a breath of cold air. Elder Han Yu's mind was shaken, and he hurried to the Soul Clan Sheng to check the situation. This person cannot be left. With his talent, he will definitely be a great enemy of our Soul Clan in the future. The Soul Clan Sheng, who was knocked down by Gu Fei, said loudly with horror in his eyes. The next moment, Gu Fei did not stop, and walked slowly towards Han Yu and others. Every step seemed to be stepping on Han Yu's life. At this moment, Han Yu finally understood that he had provoked someone he should not have provoked this time, and the fear of death rose in his heart. You can't kill me. If you kill us, even if you have a blood feud with my Soul Clan, you won't have a good life. Han Yu pointed at Gu Fei and spoke loudly. His voice was full of threats, but also full of fear. Haha, threatening me, you must die. Hearing Han Yu's words, Gu Fei's murderous intent reappeared in his eyes, and his palm clenched forward. The next moment, an indescribable force appeared around Han Yu. In an instant, he was twisted into a blood mist. Gu Fei, you dare to kill my Soul Clan's divine bloodline. The strong men of my clan will not let you go. The 3-starred Sheng of the Soul Clan was also roaring hysterically at this moment. A clown like Han Yu is dead. Do you think that the Soul Clan's top leaders really care about him? On the contrary, killing you, who has the cultivation of a Sheng, will make the Soul Clan's top leaders feel a little regretful. Gu Fei looked indifferent and continued to attack. After a few rounds, the Soul Clan Sheng was tortured to death by Gu Fei. This man is too terrifying. If he attacks me, even the 3 Supreme Elders can't save me. At this moment, the young patriarch of the Tan Yao Phoenix clan, Jai Ufeng, was also terrified. He had always stood on the side of the Soul Clan and spoke for the Soul Clan. Buzz! Just when Gu Fei killed the last Soul Clan member here, the ancient body tree that had been standing in the space suddenly made a buzzing sound. Immediately, this space also sent out waves of fluctuations. Is the space going to collapse? Seeing this scene, Gu Fei was startled, and then his brows slightly frowned. The ancient body tree, it will not always exist in the world. When it spews out the body seeds, it will sink into the earth again. It will not return to the ground until 10,000 years later. Chapter 231. Are you worried about me? I hope you don't cause more trouble. Deep in the ancient wilderness, a huge ancient body tree stood alone in the center of the grassland. The majestic clear air was centered on it. It continued to spread in all directions, looking extremely spectacular. Where did Brother Gu Fei go? According to Brother Gu Fei's speed, he should have come here early. Xun'er sat cross-legged 1,000 feet away from the trunk of the huge ancient body tree. She has been in the same posture for more than half a month. Before, most of the people who teamed up with Xun'er to break through the beast tide were like this. Because many people came here and saw the body mind, they all wanted to attack the ancient body tree and snatch the opportunity, but their attacks were too weak, and even the bark of the ancient body tree was not damaged. As time went on, these people got tired of fighting, so they all stopped and sat cross-legged around the ancient body tree waiting for the treasure to come. Huawa. Suddenly, a huawa sound was heard on this quiet grassland. There's movement. Seeing this movement, the hundreds of people sitting cross-legged outside the ancient body tree were all excited. After waiting for so long, they all felt that the ancient body tree was finally going to spit out the body mind and the body seeds. Brother Gu Fei might have been delayed by something. Well, in that case, I will seize the many opportunities for the ancient body tree this time. After I take the treasure and go back, everyone in the clan, including Brother Gu Fei, will definitely look at me with approval. Xun'er opened her eyes, full of fighting spirit at this moment. She was confident that she could stand out among these hundreds of people and win the treasure. While Xun'er was thinking in her heart, the ancient body tree, which stood in the center of the grassland and had been motionless for almost a month, suddenly burst into a dazzling emerald green light. Immediately, figures rushed out of the light in a panic. Well, why are they people? Seeing this scene, those around who were eager to try and want to grab the treasure were stunned. The treasure-spitting phenomenon they expected did not appear. Apparently, someone got there first. Finally, it's out. The few people of the Sky Demon Phoenix clan who survived by chance took a deep breath of the fresh air on the grassland. but they felt a sense of pleasure after surviving a disaster outsiders could never imagine. In this short month, what kind of horrible dangers did they experience? That kind of terrible illusion. Even after a long time, they would probably still remember it vividly. Gu Fei also let out a sigh of relief. In the past month or so, his changes were naturally the greatest. In the eyes of outsiders, 1 month allowed him to experience 100 reincarnations. Although the reincarnation training did not allow his strength to really soar to a terrifying level, it left behind something that could affect the future without him realizing it. Brother Gu Fei. Seeing that Gu Fei was also spit out by the ancient body tree, Xun'er's pretty face was full of excitement. She flashed and quickly came to Gu Fei's side. "Didn't I tell you not to come?" Seeing Xun'er appear beside him, Gu Fei almost subconsciously frowned, with some blame in his tone. I'm worried about you." Hearing Gu Fei's blame, Xun'er lowered her head and explained in a low voice, but at this moment, she was filled with joy in her heart. Usually, Gu Fei was too lazy to respond to her. Now, he was willing to blame himself, which was also a big change. "Worried about me? It would be better if you don't come to make trouble for me," Gu Fei said coldly. Even if something happened to him, a forced hardsheng, what help could Xun'er, a Zun Peak, provide? It was simply a joke. Buzz. When the last person was thrown out, the ancient body tree trembled violently, and then a circle of emerald green light spread out from the bottom of the ancient body tree. Under the spread of this light, the ground seemed to have turned into liquid, and the ancient body tree also followed the liquid and slowly invaded the ground. Seeing that the ancient body tree was going to dive into the ground, many people's faces changed slightly. Immediately, he was filled with reluctance. Once the ancient body tree entered the ground, even the Cheng strong man could not find it. In other words, if he wanted to see it again, he would have to wait until the next time, when the ancient body tree was born 10,000 years later. Amid the sighs of the crowd, Gu Fei gently touched the heart area of his chest. There, suspended a green heart that was as emerald as jade and crystal clear. This was the legendary body heart, but Gu Fei had not yet refined the body heart. "Brother Body, thank you very much. I hope we can meet again next time." Gu Fei looked at the ancient body tree that was going deeper and deeper into the ground, and murmured in a low voice. He also felt a little regretful in his heart. This ancient body tree did not form a real spiritual wisdom, otherwise, it would definitely become a real peak strong man on the Qi continent. Boom. Under the gaze of many eyes, the ancient body tree finally slowly dived into the ground. With the disappearance of the last ray of green light, the grassland became empty again. These people came out of the ancient body tree, and the treasures must be on them. Kill them and the treasures will belong to everyone. Yes, let's go together. The ancient body tree disappeared, and the continental masters who had been waiting for them all set their sights on Gu Fei and the people of the heavenly demon Phoenix clan, because they had just been vomited out of the ancient body tree. For a moment, a wave of murderous intent filled the air. "You are so brave." Seeing this, Xun'er scolded coldly. "If you want to take the treasure, just find him." All the body seeds, including the legendary body heart, have been taken by him. Seeing the movements of the surrounding masters, Xiao Yan subconsciously pointed at Gu Fei. He was worried that Gu Fei would settle accounts with him later, so he wanted these people to delay Gu Fei's steps and buy time for his people of the heavenly demon Phoenix clan to escape. After saying this, a space fluctuation was heard on the grassland that had returned to silence. Everyone looked over and found that it was the people of the heavenly demon Phoenix clan who were tearing the space. They wanted to escape from the void space. "Hey, you are running away right under my nose, Xiao Yan, you are not qualified." Gu Fei glanced at him with disdain. Then, he stretched out his hand and gently clenched it in the direction of Xiao Yan. The next moment, Xiao Yan's body immediately exploded as if it was under great pressure. A strong man at the peak of Zun, who was about to enter the semi-saint realm, was killed so easily. For a moment, all those who were originally planning to take action retreated. What is the difference between snatching treasures from such a terrifying strong man and seeking death? Chapter 232 Xun'er's excitement. Young clan leader. Is the young clan leader dead? He actually killed the young clan leader. How can we calm the anger of the clan leader and the supreme elders? Seeing Jai Ufeng die on the spot, the rest of the Sky Demon Phoenix clan were filled with fear and anger. They didn't know how furious clan leader Huangtian would be when he returned to the clan this time. If you want to live, don't act trashly. The other party is a genius of the ancient clan, and he dared to kill even the Soul Jade of the Soul clan and the Cheng elder. How could he care about the anger of our Sky Demon Phoenix clan? Even if the clan leader knew about this, what can he do to the first ancient clan? Feng Qing'er's beautiful face turned pale at this moment. Facing the death threat brought by the ancient clan pride, she had no pride at all. Moreover, Feng Qing'er wanted to curse the dead Jai Ufeng in her heart. As the young patriarch of the Sky Demon Phoenix clan, Jai Ufeng's IQ was too worrying. The battle between the two ancient races, the Soul clan and the ancient clan. What qualifications does he, the young patriarch of the Sky Demon Phoenix clan, have to participate? He also wants to offend Gu Fei at the last moment, which is no different from seeking death. Even the three supreme elders of the Sky Demon Phoenix clan dare not provoke Gu Fei. At this moment, as Feng Qing'er's voice fell, the other Sky Demon Phoenix clan strongmen also calmed down. The other party could easily kill Jai Ufeng, so it would be even easier to kill them. It seems that not all the people of the Sky Demon Phoenix clan are fools. Seeing the movements of the group of people from the Sky Demon Phoenix clan, Gu Fei showed a hint of sarcasm at the corner of his mouth. He really didn't want to kill these ants. It would be good to keep them and go back to report to Huangtian to see if Huangtian dared to fight with the ancient clan for his heir. It's time to go back. Gu Fei didn't plan to stay for long. The Soul Jade and the death of the Soul clan Sheng before, the people of the Soul clan should have known about it, and maybe some strong people would come. The next moment, Gu Fei glanced at Xun'er, his eyes showing undisguised disdain. However, considering that Xun'er was of the same clan's divine bloodline and the clan leader's daughter, it would be a waste if she was captured alive by the Soul clan and used to threaten the ancient clan. Follow me. Gu Fei stretched out his hand and drew a line in the space in front of him. A space crack was created. Hearing Gu Fei's words, Xun'er was speechless at this moment. This kind of speechlessness was due to being so excited that she couldn't speak. How many years have passed? This was the first time that Gu Fei took the initiative to invite her after their divorce. Xun'er smiled. Without hesitation, she followed Gu Fei into the space crack. In the space channel, Xun'er looked at Gu Fei's back in front of her, and her heartbeat kept accelerating. In her opinion, this time, it was a big step forward. Watching Gu Fei and Xun'er leave, Feng Qing'er finally let go of her worries. However, although she saved her life this time, how should she explain it after returning to the clan? How should she face the clan leader's anger? Feng Qing'er showed a trace of confusion on her face. If Jai Ufeng hadn't been so desperate and hadn't provoked Gu Fei, this wouldn't have happened. After the matter of the ancient body tree was over, everyone didn't stay in this ghost place for too long, and left directly. This time, except for Gu Fei, everyone else returned empty-handed. But no one felt sorry, just glad that they could get out of here alive. Brother Gu Fei, wait for me. East region. When Gu Fei came here, he sped up and left Xun'er behind. Xun'er kept chasing behind, but soon Gu Fei's figure disappeared. Soon, Gu Fei returned to the ancient world. Gu Fei, didn't Xun'er come back with you? Seeing Gu Fei coming back alone, the faces of several ancient clan elders were full of worry. They knew that Xun'er had sneaked out, but with Gu Fei there, they didn't send anyone to look for her. But now, seeing only Gu Fei coming back, they were all very worried. Behind, Gu Fei responded lightly. Then, he took out more than 20 body seeds. Hearing that Xun'er was fine, the elders of the ancient clan were relieved. After seeing the body seeds that Gu Fei took out, they laughed out loud. More than 20 body seeds are a huge resource for a huge ancient race like the ancient clan. If all these pills can be refined into body pills, the ancient clan can have more than 20 saints. This level of strong people is also very important to the ancient clan. Next, Gu Fei returned to his mountain. My husband is back. Now Xian and Care threw themselves into Gu Fei's arms. Hearing about the gains of Gu Fei's trip, now Xian and Care were both happy. Next, I will refine the body grade Huandan for you. This kind of pill can increase the chance of becoming a saint by 50%. After reminiscing about the past, Gu was immersed in refining pills. With his current ability to refine pills, the success rate of refining the 9th grade treasure pill has exceeded 80%. Chapter 233, The Young Clan Leader is Enthroned. Gu Yuan's doubts. Alchemy is like cultivation. Time passed unnoticed. On the top of Gu Fei Mountain, during this period, every half a month or so, there would be a shocking phenomenon. Whenever this phenomenon appeared, the tribesmen in the ancient world would celebrate, because every time that phenomenon appeared, it meant that Gu Fei had refined a 9th grade precious pill, the body grade return pill, that could increase the chance of a Xun peak being promoted to a semi-saint by 50%. This kind of pill was a priceless treasure. It's the 6th time. On this day, the extremely dark black cloud appeared again in the sky of Gu Fei Mountain. Black lightning surged in the cloud. It's the 6th 9th grade precious pill. Brother Gu Fei's attainments in alchemy are probably unmatched in the world today. Yes, after this time, I'm afraid my ancient clan will have 6 more saints. Looking at the black clouds appearing in the sky of Gu Fei Mountain, the onlookers around have become accustomed to it. There is no longer the shock they had at the beginning. The black magic thunder tribulation has turned into a landscape that people can appreciate carefully. Brother Gu Fei, you are really excellent. Not far away, Xun'er stared at the mountain where Gu Fei was, her eyes full of tenderness. The last time they went to the wild ancient domain, Gu Fei's last words, "Follow me," seemed to still linger in Xun'er's mind. Every time she heard it, Xun'er's mouth would involuntarily rise slightly, and her heart was sweet. On the mountain, Xiao Yan, Xun'er, King Lin, Shuang, Xian, Ling Sai and others were also watching the sky. In their sight, they saw Gu Fei easily dissolve the black magic thunder. Master is so powerful. Ling Sai's eyes were full of reverence. It was her greatest blessing in her life to be accepted as a disciple by a Shang strong man like Gu Fei with unlimited potential. Of course, all this was also thanks to the 2 little guys Xian and Shuang. Master is really a god. On the mountainside, the purple crystal-winged Lion King was also full of reverence. Husband, you have been refining the elixir for almost half a year. You should take a break first. Below, although Xiao Yan was also very happy that her husband was admired by thousands of people, she was more concerned about Gu Fei's physical condition. Refining medicine is a very mentally exhausting thing. Gu Fei must have consumed a lot of mental energy after refining medicine for such a long time. Well, Gu Fei caught the escaped 9th grade treasure pill and nodded slightly after hearing Xiao Yan's words. During this period, he had refined 6 9th grade body pills in a row, which really consumed a lot of mental energy. After all, this was to refine 9th grade pills, and he needed to stay focused at all times. However, high-quality alchemy also has a positive effect on cultivation. Now Gu Fei already feels that he has the opportunity to break through to the 5-starred Shang. Take it. After coming down from the sky, Gu Fei directly stuffed 2 of the body pills into the hands of Xiao Yan and Xun'er respectively. Are you tired? Xiao Yan touched Gu Fei's cheek distressedly, with tenderness in her eyes. Perhaps everyone else was concerned about Gu Fei's glory, but Xiao Yan was the only one who always sympathized with Gu Fei's hard work. Not bad, Gu Fei grinned. I guess I'll have to sleep for 3 days and 3 nights next. It's time to have a good rest. Xiao Yan pushed Gu Fei into the room. Gu fell asleep immediately, and he really slept for 3 whole days. After waking up, Gu felt that his soul power had greatly improved again. Daddy, you are awake. Seeing Gu get up, Shuang, who happened to be passing by, came over immediately. Looking at the fair and clean little guy, Gu raised him with a gentle smile on his face. After a while, Xian also came over after hearing the sound. The 2 children surrounded Gu. The happiest thing is nothing more than this. I'll go down and see the elders. A few days later, Gu, who had rested well, left the mountain and walked towards the depths of the ancient Saint Mountains. Soon, he came to a hall. In the hall, there were several elders of the ancient clan. Gu is here. Seeing Gu coming, the elders of the ancient clan in the hall were all smiling. Gu, I heard that you killed the Soul Clan's divine bloodline Soul Jade in the wild ancient domain. This is a great event. and elder of the ancient clan said with a smile. Although the Soul Clan was furious about this matter and had been frantically retaliating against the ancient clan during this period, the ancient clan had already torn their faces with the Soul Clan. The two sides were just short of a large-scale war. In response to the Soul Clan's revenge, the ancient clan also made many responses. Now, anyone related to the Soul Clan in the entire eastern domain will be eliminated by the ancient clan. The Soul Clan will not be given another chance. This person, Soul Jade, is so ostentatious without being able to cultivate well. It is not a pity that he should die. Gu Fei smiled and echoed. He no longer cared about this kind of thing. This time, he came here to deliver pills. This time, a total of 6 ninth-grade body Da Huandan were refined, and Gu Fei took out 2 of them and gave them to the clan. Haha, Gu Fei, your attainments in alchemy are so great that even if the guys from the medicine clan knew about it, they would not be able to resist asking you for advice. Just after Gu Fei took out 2 ninth-grade body grade Huandan, a figure descended on the main seat of the hall without any warning. Even Gu Fei could not sense it in advance. Meet the clan leader. Gu Fei and many of the elders of the ancient clan in the hall saluted the middle-aged man on the main seat. Today, many elders have gathered here, and I want to announce something to everyone. Gu Fei, from today on, you will be the young clan leader of our clan, and you will inherit the position of clan leader in the future. When Gu Yuan's voice fell, no one in the hall was surprised. With the talent and cultivation that Gu Fei has shown now, as well as his terrifying attainments in alchemy, if he does not become the young clan leader, who else is qualified? Thank you, clan leader. Gu Fei saluted again, without refusing anything. Since ancient times, high positions have always been occupied by the capable, and Gu Fei also has confidence that he will lead the ancient clan to glory after inheriting the position of clan leader in the future. No need to be polite. Gu Yuan couldn't help but sigh in his heart when he saw such an outstanding Gu Fei. Originally, such an outstanding young man in the clan was his son-in-law, but unfortunately those unpleasant things happened. Clan leader, there is something that I have been holding back in my heart, and I want to take this opportunity to say it. Just say it. Looking at Gu Fei's serious expression, Gu Yuan's expression also became much more serious. Generally speaking, when Gu Fei showed this expression, it meant that something important would happen. In the Soul Clan, what level of Soul Realm has Emperor Hun Tian reached now? Gu Fei did not speak directly, but asked Gu Yuan a question first. Emperor Hun Tian, his Soul Realm should be the same as mine, and he has already reached the Emperor Realm Soul. Gu Yuan replied slowly, with a hint of doubt in his eyes, not understanding why Gu Fei suddenly asked these questions. Chapter 234 Xun'er, Brother Gu Fei still cares about me. Regarding the 3 words Soul Emperor, the expressions of the elders of the ancient clan in the hall were also a little solemn after hearing them. That was a top continental strongman who could be compared with their clan leader Gu Yuan. At this moment, everyone was very curious about why Gu Fei mentioned Soul Emperor at this time. He also asked about the Soul Realm of Soul Emperor. Ding. Gu Yuan had doubts, and his emotion value increased. Ding. Gu Nanhai had doubts and curiosity, and his emotion value increased. Gu Fei knew that these elders were confused, so he didn't keep them in suspense. Over the years, I have been training on the mainland and discovered some of the things done by the Soul Palace, a force under the Soul Clan. The Soul Palace is indeed insignificant to our clan, but it is the first force in Zhangzhou. Over the past few hundred years, the Soul Palace has continued to grow and develop, and its number of people has expanded greatly. The entire continent is full of people from the Soul Palace. Listening to Gu Fei's words, Gu Yuan's expression did not change. As Gu Fei said, the ancient clan never took forces like the Soul Palace seriously, and rarely participated in the disputes on the continent. In each branch of the Soul Palace, I found a large number of soul origins, and these are just a part of what the Soul Palace has plundered on the continent for nearly 1,000 years. If those soul origins are piled up, I guess, it should be enough to pile up an Emperor Soul, Gu Fei said seriously. Hearing this, many elders of the ancient clan in the hall finally became restless. Even Gu Yuan's expression changed slightly. He had never thought about this before. The Soul Clan spent such a huge price to cultivate an Emperor Soul. The ambition is definitely not small. Guf's words were loud and clear. It made the elders of the ancient clan fall into deep thought. The Soul Emperor is already an Emperor Soul. He should not need to improve in this way. Then who is he cultivating? Gu Yuan was puzzled. Some famous strong men of the Soul Clan in the past appeared in his mind, but he denied them one by one. Perhaps, in addition to Emperor Huntian, there are other top masters in the Soul Clan. That top master may have reached a level similar to that of you, the clan leader. Guf continued to induce, but he could only say so much. If he continued, he would not be able to prove the accuracy of his words. If this is true, then the Soul Clan is hiding too deeply. All the elders of the ancient clan were shocked by Guf's remarks. Guf was just guessing, so even if someone didn't believe it, he didn't deny it. Guf, I will pay attention to what you said. If this is true, the strength of the Soul Clan may be far superior to that of our ancient clan. Gu Yuan nodded. His attitude was what Guf cared about the most. As long as Gu Yuan began to pay attention to the Soul Clan, then some of the Soul Clan's big moves could not be carried out as secretly as in the original book. The deterrence of Gu Yuan alone is greater than the deterrence of the entire ancient clan and even the other major ancient races combined. Seeing that the goal had been achieved, Guf naturally did not stay any longer. He bowed slightly and said goodbye to many elders. After Guf left, Gu Yuan also left the hall. He immediately came to the secluded mountain where Xun'er was. Father, why are you here? Xun'er was very surprised to see Gu Yuan coming here. Gu Yuan had not come often in the past few years. Xun'er, your cultivation has progressed quite well during this period. If you can keep it up, you will definitely achieve something in the future, Gu Yuan said, and stretched out his hand to take out a pill, which was one of the 2 9th grade body grade Huandan sent by Guf before. Take this body grade Huandan. With this pill, the time for you to break through to the saint will be much earlier, Gu Yuan said with a smile. Father, is this sent by Brother Guf? I knew that Brother Guf still loves me. Xun'er's face showed joy. She thought that Guf was embarrassed to give it to her, so he asked Gu Yuan to give it on his behalf. It was indeed sent by Guf, but don't get it wrong. Guf just handed over these pills to enrich the treasure house of the clan. Gu Yuan explained. He is the patriarch of the ancient clan and has absolute power in allocating resources. However, it was not too selfish to give this 9th grade pill to Xun'er. After all, Xun'er was of divine blood. Among the young people of the ancient clan, besides Guf, she could be said to be the most qualified to take this body great rejuvenation pill. Father, please don't discourage me. Xun'er was a little dissatisfied when she heard what Gu Yuan said. She hoped that her guess was correct. Xun'er, Guf has now been appointed as the young clan leader by my father. From now on, you must assist her well. The future of the ancient clan may rely on you young people to support it, Gu Yuan said meaningfully, and then turned and left. He didn't want Xun'er to continue to be trapped in that failed relationship. Brother Guf, with the body great rejuvenation pill you refined, I will soon become a semi-saint. No matter how high you fly, I have the courage to chase you. Xun'er held the body great rejuvenation pill tightly in her hand, full of expectations for the future. Husband, I want to go to the 9 netherworld again where I practiced before. Last time I was there, I felt a call. That call comes from the blood. That day, on the mountain where Guf was, Xun'er suddenly had the idea of going out to practice. She has now completed the 9 transformations, and the next step is to become a semi-saint. Last time, she also got the 9 colors stone. If she can go to the 9 netherworld to practice, plus the body grade rejuvenation pill, her practice progress will be rapid. Okay, I'll go with you. Guf smiled and nodded. Guf knew the situation at the bottom of the 9 netherworld better than anyone else. There was a great opportunity place prepared for Xun'er. Soon, Guf took Xun'er and quietly left the ancient world. When Guf and Xun'er came to the 9 netherworld again, Yao Ming seemed to have sensed something and came out to greet them. With the Yaosheng blood that Guf had sent before, Yao Ming has now broken through to the 3-starred Sheng, completely stabilizing the situation. No one in the 9 netherworld Python clan dared to oppose it. Brother Guf, I haven't seen you for a while. I didn't expect that you have made such great progress in your cultivation. Yao Ming sensed the aura of cultivation that Guf inadvertently exuded. and his face was full of shock. Back then, when Gu first came to the Ming Snake Vein, he was only a half-saint, and he was accompanied by Xiao Yan, a forced hard-saint. But in just a few years, Gu has cultivated from a half-saint to a forced hard-saint. This speed of cultivation makes people not even have the courage to be jealous. Haha, Yao Ming, your cultivation has also made great progress in recent years. Gu greeted with a smile. Brother Gu, you killed the young patriarch of the Tian Yao Huang clan before, and this incident caused a big earthquake in the Tian Yao Huang clan. Yao Ming now knows Gu's identity, and at this moment he suddenly mentioned some major events that have happened in the Beast Domain recently. Chapter 235 Turmoil in the Northwest Continent. Deep in the Beast Domain, Danxu mountain range. This is the habitat of the ancient Phoenix clan in ancient times. As a descendant of the ancient Phoenix, the sky demon Phoenix has also lived here. In the thousands of miles around this mountain range, there are no other monster families living there. Deep in Danxu mountain, on a huge peak, Phoenix Wutong is full of golden light. The 1,000-year-old trees soared straight up, with towering crowns reaching the sky, and the trunks were extremely thick, dozens of feet wide, much larger than some trees in the ancient forest. On those ancient trees, huge golden leaves covered the sky and the sun. In that golden color, some dots of green complemented each other, which was spectacular. The 1,000-year-old ancient trees formed a forest, reflecting the golden color between heaven and earth, exuding an ancient and deep breath. This is the trace of time, and the annual rings of history have been engraved on it in circles. Cry. At a certain moment, a huge golden demon phoenix was hovering on the top of the mountain, with a pair of wings spread out, simply covering the sky and the sun. Listening to the cry of this huge demon phoenix, it seemed to be full of anger and grief. The Supreme Elder is going crazy again. Even the Supreme Elder cannot explain to the clan leader when the young clan leader died this time. I just want to ask, what does the killing of the young clan leader have to do with us? With Gu's strength, can we stop him from killing the young clan leader? How can this be blamed on us? On the top of a big tree, there was a wooden prison with a powerful seal. Xun'er and the members of the Sky Demon Phoenix clan who had been to the wild ancient domain before were all imprisoned here. You guys, it seems that you don't accept this treatment? An old man in black landed outside the wooden prison and said coldly, I really don't accept it. A strong man of the Sky Demon Phoenix clan retorted, even if you were the Supreme Elder at that time, Gu could still kill the young clan leader. Yes, let alone us, someone echoed. Young clan leader provoked Gu, and you followed him without trying to dissuade him. Isn't this a capital crime? The old man in black said angrily. As soon as he finished speaking, he directly executed the two people who had just refuted. Xun'er watched this scene in the wooden prison, and couldn't help but feel disappointed with her own race. The lives of ordinary clan members are really cheap. It's ridiculous that the two people just now escaped from the wild ancient domain and did not die in the hands of the enemy, but were executed by their own people. This is really a kind of sadness. The Sky Demon Phoenix clan is nothing to worry about. Next to the 9 Nether Yellow Spring, Gu listened to Yao Ming's words and was not interested. No matter how angry the Sky Demon Phoenix clan was, for the ancient clan, it was not even thunder. That's right. Yao Ming nodded and smiled awkwardly. Yao Ming, during this period of time, the 9 Nether Yellow Spring, don't let anyone get close to it for the time being. Yes, I will make arrangements. Yao Ming replied seriously. After all, he had said that he would serve Gu as his master. Husband, I'll go down first. You don't have to stay here all the time. I'll go back after I finish my retreat. Kair had already made sufficient preparations. With the cold power of the 9 Netherworld and the help of the body great rejuvenation pill, her strength would definitely take a big step forward during this retreat. Yes, Gu nodded. Next, he waited for a few days and then left. There were other things waiting for him to do. Northwest Continent. This place is not as good as Zhangzhou. Here, although there are numerous sects and empires, they are always in a situation of disputes. Although there are some forces with strong strength who want to unify them, they have never been able to achieve it. Moreover, the so-called strong forces there are only at the level of first-class forces in Zhangzhou. To be honest, They are not stronger than the forces like Sifang Pavilion. Therefore, some forces and strong men in Zhongzhou do not pay much attention to those places. Originally, there was no major unrest in the northwest continent, but a year ago, a sect called the Lion Dark Sect suddenly began to conquer them. Wherever the strong men of the sect passed, no one could resist them. In less than half a year, nearly half of the northwest continent fell into the control of the Lion Nether sect. Because of the struggle for hegemony of the Lion Nether sect, the entire northwest continent was plunged into war. Originally, the people of the ancient clan would never care too much about such things. However, since Gu's speech in the hall last time, the ancient clan began to pay attention to the Soul Hall. This time, the Lion Nether sect started the struggle for hegemony in the northwest continent, and there was a shadow of the Soul Hall. Gu Fei also heard some rumors. It seems that the Soul Clan has lost the soul source of the two main halls, and now it has begun to be hungry and reach out to the northwest continent. Gu Fei murmured in his heart. He knew the reason for the turmoil in the northwest continent better than those ancient clan members who went to investigate. Although the northwest continent does not have hidden dragons and crouching tigers like Zhongzhou, it is an extremely vast area after all, and naturally there are many Zun-level strongmen. It is a bit unbelievable to want to occupy most of the northwest continent with the power of the Lion Nether sect alone. The Lion Nether sect was originally only ranked in the top 10 in the northwest continent, and was not invincible. But this time, their strength has increased by leaps and bounds, and there are many more mysterious and powerful people with extremely strong strength. Those extra strong people are from the Soul Palace. They deliberately provoked the war, so that countless people would die in the war. The people of the Soul Palace secretly collected the souls of the dead on the battlefield to achieve their goals. Goof, you mean, this war was deliberately provoked by the Soul Palace just to collect souls, disregarding the lives of so many people? Hearing Goof's words, Gu Nanhai and others frowned. The actions of the Soul Palace made them feel ashamed. This force is somewhat anti-human. Yes. The reason why we chose Zhongzhou is because the forces in Zhongzhou are complicated, and even the Soul Palace dare not start a war easily. Goof nodded, but places like the northwest continent are different. With the power of the Soul Palace, it is enough to dominate a one-sided war, and they only need to show up afterward to get countless souls. Since the Soul Palace wants to get souls so much, then we will dismantle their plan. Gu Nanhai made a decision in his mind. Even if he sent it Shang strongman, he had to quell the unrest in the northwest continent. Elder, send someone quickly. The slower this matter ends, the more benefits the Soul Clan will get. Goof nodded in agreement. The Soul Clan now no longer cares about the quality of souls, and plans to complete the mission goals assigned by the Soul Clan by quantity. Since this plan has been discovered, Goof will naturally not let them succeed. Chapter 236 The murderous intention of Emperor Huntian. Deep in the Soul World, in a black hall, dozens of Soul Clan elders gathered here. Damn it, what are the people of the ancient clan doing? They are targeting the Soul Hall everywhere. Did they really find something? A Soul Clan elder roared. His hatred for the ancient clan was beyond words. Some time ago, the ancient clan destroyed the two main halls of the Soul Hall and caused the Soul Clan to lose several Zheng. Before the Soul Clan had time to avenge this hatred, the ancient clan made another move. Those people sent by the Soul Hall to the northwest continent to help the Lion Clan dominate were all dealt with by the Zheng strongmen sent by the ancient clan. This also means that the Soul Hall's efficiency in collecting souls has been greatly reduced. It is even less than one-third of the previous one. Such a result is unacceptable to the Soul Clan. Since the ancient clan is provoking trouble, we might as well start a war. Let the arrogant ancient clan understand that our Soul Clan is not so easy to mess with. Another Soul Clan elder said very radically. His words attracted the approval of many Soul Clan elders. It seemed that this battle had to be fought. There is indeed a battle between our Soul Clan and the ancient clan, but not now. In the hall, a plain voice suddenly sounded. Under this plain voice, the faces of several Soul Clan elders who were originally unruly and powerful instantly became respectful. Greetings, clan leader. Greetings, clan leader. At this moment, everyone in the hall bowed to the person who appeared. The person who appeared was dressed in gray and white clothes. He looked about 30 years old, with a handsome face and a pair of extremely bright eyes, as if he could see through people's hearts. The first impression this person gave people was a kind of elegance. If he held a book in his hand, he would probably be no different from a scholar. However, such a person has supreme prestige in the entire continent. He is the clan leader of the Soul Clan, Emperor Huntian, one of the few Shang peaks on the continent. In recent years, Emperor Huntian has had the idea of gradually destroying some weak ancient races, but because of some things, out of caution, he postponed the plan. Clan leader, according to the news, the reason why the people of the ancient clan are like this has a lot to do with the rumored #1 prodigy Gu Fei. This person seems to have guessed something. Listening to the words of some Soul Clan elders, the expression on Emperor Huntian's face did not change. But in his heart, a murderous intention rose. For so many years, it has been unknown how long since someone has been valued by Emperor Huntian. In less than 30 years, he has cultivated to become a four-starred Shang. This is simply a monster, an indescribable innate holy body. If Gu Fei is given a few more decades, maybe the ancient clan will have another top-notch strong man with the strength of a 9-starred Shang. From today on, if the people of our clan have the opportunity to kill Gu Fei, don't hold back. Emperor Huntian issued an order. Now, Gu Fei has finally entered the sight of this peak strong man on the continent. Emperor Huntian, your efficiency makes me very worried. After some elders left, the space in the air of the hall was distorted and black flames appeared. Greetings to Lord Xuwu. Greetings to Lord Xuwu. As the respectful voices of many Soul Clan elders fell, the black flames suddenly began to slowly wriggle. As the black flames climbed, they slowly condensed into a figure, and finally appeared under the gazes of countless eyes. The figure was surrounded by black flames. Strange black runes covered his body, and his eyes were like black holes, filled with terrifying devouring power. Due to the cover of the black flames, the man's face was slightly unclear. But when he appeared, an extremely ancient and strange aura slowly appeared in this hall. The person who came was Xuwu swallowing flame, the second-ranked strange fire on the strange fire list. Its strength reached the 9-starred Shang. Xuwu, you should know that I have been planning for this for a long time, and I am more anxious than you. Emperor Huntian glanced at the black figure and spoke meaningfully. Originally, he had decided to quietly kill the two weak races of the Spirit Clan or the Stone Clan. Unexpectedly, during this period, even Gu Yuan began to become active. On this continent, only Gu Yuan can make Emperor Huntian feel apprehensive. This apprehension is not fear, but because he cannot secretly attack the Spirit Tribe and the Stone Tribe when Gu Yuan is in a serious state. We have been planning for 1,000 years, but now the rhythm is affected by a young boy. Damn it. Xuwu Tanyan shook his head. From what he said, it was obvious that he was talking about Gu Fei, and he even had the intention to kill him. In their opinion, a monster like Gu Fei must not be allowed to grow up in peace. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 237 5-starred Shang. The demonic fire is coming. At the glance of Emperor Huntian, all the elders of the Soul Clan in the hall retreated. Void? Now we can only wait. Gu Yuan has been monitoring our clan for a while. It is difficult to quietly slaughter other ancient races under his nose. Emperor Huntian said solemnly. He didn't understand. For so many years, the ancient clan had been seeking stability on the one hand, and arrogant on the other hand, ignoring everything. Why is it that now it has completely changed its style of behavior? Could it be that the Soul Clan's plan for so many years has been exposed to the ancient clan? Emperor Huntian, I have said before that the middle level of your clan should not know too much. Maybe at some point, the whole plan will be leaked out. Void Swallowing Flame also realized this. There was a kind of blame in his voice at this moment. Hearing this, Emperor Huntian frowned slightly, obviously unhappy. This Void Swallowing Flame really thinks of himself as the master of the Soul Clan? If it weren't for the use of keeping you, Emperor Huntian murmured in his heart, hiding the chill in his heart. At least for now, Void-devouring flame cannot die. To deal with the other tribes, void-devouring flame still needs to play a key role. The final plan is only known to the real high-level members of the tribe. It is impossible for the secret to be leaked. It should be just a groundless suspicion. After a long time, Yuan will naturally not pay attention to this matter. Emperor Huntian explained patiently. Void-devouring flame knew the strength of Emperor Huntian, so he did not push too hard at this moment. That kid from the ancient clan should be dealt with as soon as possible. Even I am a little afraid of this kind of evil talent. Void-devouring flame said the last sentence. He has lived for endless years, and it is very convincing for him to say such words. At the age of 27 or 28, he has reached the level of a 4-star Sheng, and is also a 9th-grade alchemist. Even in ancient times, he is still a brilliant person. This matter, that kid Maishan should be able to handle it. Emperor Huntian said calmly, doesn't the kid of the ancient clan need strange fire? When the demon fire comes to the world, it will be his death. Hun Maishan, demon fire. Hearing Emperor Huntian's words, Xun'er was a little skeptical at first, and then suddenly thought of something and nodded gently. Ancient world. The mountain where Gu Fei was. Time passed in a flash, and a year had passed. Gu Fei mentioned some of the hegemony that the Soul Palace had set off on the continent, but he didn't pay any more attention to it. Those trivial matters could be solved by just sending some people from the ancient clan. What he had to do now was to improve his cultivation. One day, on this mountain, the energy of heaven and earth began to gather in large quantities. In the quiet room, Gu Fei sat cross-legged quietly. His heart had been replaced by the body heart at this moment, and green light flowed through his body. In the quiet room, a strange sound suddenly appeared. That sound was like water flowing. The source of the sound was Gu Fei's body. When the rustling sound came out, the space around Gu Fei suddenly fluctuated violently. A stream of energy that seemed like substance actually condensed into a series of wind vortices, circling around him, making a whistling sound. The speed of the wind vortex was getting faster and faster. Later, more and more energy poured into the quiet room and was sucked into the wind vortex. Bang! The hard quiet room was torn into pieces after the wind vortex became larger. The dazzling light poured down from the outside and shone in. It seems that father is about to break through again. In the sky of the mountain, Wash Wang's face showed a touch of reverence. The older he got, the more he understood his father's strength and excellence. However, as the son of the first pride of the ancient clan, Wash Wang's talent is currently not inferior to Gu Fei's when he was a child, and even surpasses him. My husband is about to break through again. Now Xian brought Xian to the air to watch. During this period, Xian and Kair were in seclusion in the ancient world, and she was the only one who managed this small family. Fortunately, the children have grown up, and King Lin and Ling Xi are still here, so everything is fine. Under the gaze of Xian and the others, the energy between heaven and earth that was poured into the wind vortex became more and more terrifying. Later, the wind vortex even became viscous. Indistinctly, drops of energy liquid floated around the wind vortex, and gradually spread a terrifying wave that moved people as the wind vortex rotated. As more and more energy condensed into energy water droplets, the energy wind vortex gradually evolved into an energy water vortex. In just a few minutes, the last energy was also condensed into a drop of energy liquid and merged into the huge water vortex. Boom! When the wind vortex completely turned into an energy water vortex, the entire water vortex trembled violently. Immediately, Gu Fei, who was in seclusion, suddenly opened his eyes and burst out with a strong momentum. This strong aura can barely squeeze into the top 10 even in the ancient world. The young clan leader has become stronger again. It is estimated that in a few years, the young clan leader will be able to compete with the elder Gu Dao. The elder Gu Dao is a 7-starred Sheng. When that time comes, the 3 immortals of the ancient clan will become the 4 immortals of the ancient clan. Around the mountain, many young people of the ancient clan, including the elders of the ancient clan, were full of respect. Before the age of 30, his cultivation has risen to the level of a 5-starred Sheng. It won't be long before this kid can reach a level similar to mine. Gu Lai sensed the breath of Gu Fei's breakthrough from a distance, and his old eyes were full of relief. Buzz. At the same time, on Xun'er's mountain, the energy of heaven and earth also surged rapidly. Ms. Xun'er is about to break through to the semi-saint. Although the signs of Xun'er's breakthrough were much milder than Gu Fei's breakthrough, it still attracted the attention of some people of the ancient clan. In the sky, Xun'er, who had broken through, appeared here. At this moment, her cheeks were full of vitality and confidence. At her age, being able to have the cultivation of a semi-saint is already outstanding. Such a young saint, Ms. Xun'er is indeed worthy of being a divine bloodline. Although there is a big gap between her and the young clan leader, she is still much stronger than us. Finally, she has broken through to the semi-saint level. Xun'er felt her own cultivation and could not stop being excited. The ancient clan is indeed known as the strongest ancient race in the world. Not only does it have a peerless genius like master, but the others are also very strong. Lynx Eye stood next to Xiao Yan, her eyes full of yearning. The blood power of her Ling clan had long begun to decline, and it was getting worse year by year. If no evil clan members appeared, it would probably decline in a few hundred years. She would never have thought that if it were not for her master, the entire Ling clan would probably no longer exist, and all the descendants of the clan would be imprisoned by the Soul clan. Chapter 238, The Gaze of Hun Sheng. After breaking through to the early stage of the 5-starred Sheng, Gu Fei still did not leave the quiet room. Instead, he took out the Huangqun blood crystal and many precious spiritual medicines that he had obtained from Yao Ming before, intending to refine the elixir. This time, Gu Fei was going to refine the 9th grade elixir, the 9-yin Huangqun pill. This elixir will have a great effect on the upcoming demon fire. On the day when the elixir was completed, the sky was filled with dark clouds. However, now that the 9th grade elixir has been born, it can no longer surprise the ancient people too much. Gu Fei was already familiar with fighting against the black magic thunder, and there was no pressure at all. Collect. In the sky, Gu Fei opened a jade bottle and sucked the escaping elixir. The powerful suction instantly sucked the elixir with the ability to transform into the jade bottle. Inside the jade bottle, elixir clouds lingered. A dark red elixir quietly floated above the elixir cloud. A stream of unusually cold air slowly emanated from the jade bottle. Within a radius of 10 feet, there were constantly ice chips falling from the sky. The 9-yin yellow spring pill has been refined. Next, we just have to wait for the demon fire to come to the world. Gu Fei's eyes were full of heat. He was determined to get the demon fire. A few months later, an elder of the ancient clan came to Gu Fei's mountain. Young clan leader, there is a strange phenomenon of 9 stars and 2 moons appearing in the western region. The elder of the ancient clan said very respectfully. The strange phenomenon of heaven and earth has appeared. It seems that the seal set by the demon saint will be weakened. Gu Fei got the news and immediately set off to leave the ancient world. Gu Nanhai also went with him. As for the other young people, they were not allowed to go at Gu Fei's suggestion. Boom. When the 9 bright stars in the starry sky connected into a straight line, the whole world suddenly had a strong energy fluctuation. Immediately, countless strange mists spread out from the void. Faintly, there was even the sound of waves coming from between heaven and earth. The tide of heaven and earth is exactly the same as the prediction of Gu. Gu Fei appeared outside the ancient world, looked up at the light mist that filled the whole world, and muttered to himself. Even at such a long distance, Gu Fei could feel that the temperature around him was higher than usual. Elder Nanhai, let's leave immediately. Gu Fei opened up a space wormhole and stepped into it. Although Gu Fei has reached the level of a 5-starred Sheng, the people of other tribes do not know it at present. Therefore, Gu Fei suppressed his cultivation ore to the peak of a 4-starred Sheng, so that he would not violate the tribe covenant. The reason why only Gu Nanhai was allowed to accompany him was because Gu Fei understood that in the next battle, it would be useless to have more people, and those with low strength would only become cannon fodder. After Gu Fei set off, a large number of people flew over Zhongzhou from all the major sects and forces. Other ancient races were no exception. Their goals were all surprisingly consistent, pointing to the northwest of Zhongzhou. In just one night, the whole Zhongzhou was in turmoil. Swoosh. Above the sky, there was a sudden sound of breaking wind, and 2 figures flew over from the distant sky. We are about to enter the place where the demon fire descended 1,000 miles away. Gu Fei raised his head and looked at the distant place in front of him. The dazzling strong light was constantly released like the sun. As he got closer and closer to there, waves of terrifying high temperature also came towards him. It is worthy of being the pure lotus demon fire. The residual heat released alone makes it so difficult for those Xun with strength above 6 stars to resist. Gu Nanhai swept his eyes over some figures behind him and couldn't help but sigh. A 6-star Xun is already a first-class strongman on the mainland, but this kind of strength can only resist the residual heat released by the pure lotus demon fire from afar. From this, it can be seen that the pure lotus demon fire is so terrifying. 10 minutes later, Gu Fei and Gu Nanhai finally gradually arrived at the place where the demon fire descended. Here, there were mountains and ridges before, but now, it is just a milky white desert. A terrifying temperature rose from the desert, causing the space within thousands of miles to be distorted. What a terrifying pure lotus demon fire! Gu Nanhai looked at the huge desert that appeared in his eyes, his face full of shock. In the distant sky, the space there had already broken open, and milky white light poured out from the broken space. The demon fire has not completely broken out, and these milky white lights are just some of the residual heat it emits. Looking at this scene, Gu Fei said softly, "Swish." Not long after Gu Fei and the others appeared in the sky above the desert, bursts of breaking wind were heard from all directions. One figure after another stopped far away from the broken space. They all looked at the milky white desert with some shock in their eyes. Swish. While Gu Fei and Gu Nanhai were quietly waiting for the space to break, a space not far away suddenly began to wriggle. Immediately, thick black fog permeated from the space all over the sky. A strong aura spread quietly, immediately attracting all the eyes in the world. Under the gaze of everyone, after a while, the black fog slowly dissipated, and several figures slowly appeared in everyone's sight. The Lord of the Soul Palace, looking at the black-robed figure with a terrifying aura at the head of the few people, many of the top masters in Zhongzhou shrank their pupils. One of them was dressed in a black robe, and his face was not outstanding at all. He looked ordinary, just like an ordinary person. However, it was such an ordinary figure, but at this moment, most of the people present held their breath. The Lord of the Soul Palace. These 4 simple words have an extremely terrifying reputation. Back then, the Lord of the Soul Palace once bloodbathed dozens of sects overnight. That night, blood flowed like a river. 5 masters with the strength of 2-starred Sheng all fell in his hands. That night, the Soul Palace Master gained a bad reputation, and the Soul Palace became the overlord of Zhongzhou. Even Danda did not dare to confront it easily. At this moment, Gu Fei's eyes were also fixed on the figure, but they were very calm, completely different from the way people around him looked at Hun seemed to have noticed something. He slowly turned his head, and his eyes, as calm as a well, looked at Gu Fei. After seeing Gu Fei's face clearly, even a big figure in Zhongzhou like Hun subconsciously showed some fear in his eyes. Chapter 239. Strong men from all races appear, and a storm is brewing. Gu Fei and Hun looked at each other, and an invisible pressure filled the air. But at this moment, although both Gu Fei and Hun were 5-starred Sheng, they tacitly showed only the strength of the late 4-star. After a moment, the two sides withdrew their gazes, and the invisible collision ended. The people of the Gu clan are here after all. The 2 people beside Hun frowned. The pure lotus demon fire is not an ordinary strange fire. Even my soul clan is obsessed with it, and the Gu clan is naturally the same. Hun slowly opened his mouth and made a hoarse voice. The 2 people from the Gu clan who came this time are both 4-starred Shengs. Now, our soul clan seems to be the weaker party. Hun Fei, who came with Hun looked at Gu Fei and the others with fear on his face. He is the young patriarch of the Soul Clan, but his cultivation is only the late 2-starred Sheng. Compared with a monster like Gu Fei, the difference in combat power is huge. In addition, Gu Nanhai is also a veteran 4-starred Sheng. If a fight really breaks out, he is worried that his Soul Clan will lose. Young clan leader, you don't have to worry too much. The palace master has been a 4-starred Sheng for many years. It will be no problem for him to deal with Gu Nanhai and Gu Fei, that young boy. The last of the 3 shook his head. Of course. Hearing this, Hun Feng nodded doubtfully and said with a smile, "There is an agreement between our ancient races that the strong ones with strength above 5-starred Sheng cannot attack at will. The palace master is just at this limit. There are indeed few people at the same level who can beat him. Those powerful people, although they have not appeared, must be watching here." Listening to the two people's flattery, Hun Mishan smiled faintly, but raised his head and looked at the empty space, as if there was someone entrenched in that empty place. "When will we start?" Hun Feng glanced at it and knew that the Soul Clan strongman might have other arrangements, so he spoke at this moment. "Wait. Wait for the pure lotus demon fire to destroy the seal, which will consume a lot of its energy. When it is about to break through the air, we will take action." Hun Mishan crossed his rough hands and said, looking confident, "Young clan leader, there are not many people in the world who can subdue the pure lotus demon fire. As long as it does not fall into the hands of the Soul Clan this time, that would be the best." Gu Hai's attitude towards Gu Fei changed completely at this time. He no longer used the tone of an elder as before, but more like a subordinate reporting. All this is because of the change in Gu Fei's strength. Now Gu Fei is not only the young patriarch of the Gu clan, but also a 5-starred Sheng. In the past, the pure lotus demon fire had appeared before, but it was not subdued in the end. The space seal here was set by the pure lotus demon saint, which is extremely magical. Even if the pure lotus demon fire can destroy it in a short time, once it slows down a little, the seal will automatically absorb the energy of heaven and earth to repair it again, and then continue to seal it. There is nothing wrong with what Gu Hai said, but Gu Fei did not just want to prevent the Soul Clan from getting it. This time, he was determined to get the pure lotus demon fire, and no one could stop him. "Elder Hai, the demon fire has not been subdued for so many years. Don't you think it's a pity?" As soon as Gu Fei said this, Gu Hai also understood Gu Fei's determination. If the young clan leader wants to subdue the demon fire, I, Gu Hai, will risk my life to help the young clan leader succeed, Gu Hai said sincerely. While the two were talking, another hot wind that did not belong to the demon fire suddenly came from this world. Immediately, a red light appeared on the top of the mountain. The light dissipated, revealing a group of people. The old man leading the group had red hair and looked quite eye-catching. "Ancestor Yan, with this kind of strength, you are also competing for the pure lotus demon fire. It's a bit presumptuous." Looking at the red-haired old man, Gu Fei couldn't help shaking his head. Although the Burning Flame Valley ranks behind the two sects in terms of strength, it is stronger than the two sects because of the existence of the Fire Cloud ancestor. With such strength, they can do great things in Zhangzhou, but coming here to compete for the pure lotus demon fire is no different from cannon fodder. "Brother Gu Fei, you came so early. Huozi missed you so much." A sound of breaking through the air sounded, and then Yuan and his group appeared not far from Gu Fei. Hearing Yuan's words, Gu Fei was somewhat helpless. This guy always talked a lot. "Yuan, what are you talking about?" Behind Yuan, Huozi, who was covering his cheeks with a veil, shouted loudly. Yuan heard this and smiled without explaining. Before, in the heavenly tomb, he helped and said a few words, and after returning, he was encouraged by Huozi. Now in front of people, Huozi started to pretend again. The leader of the Yan clan this time was an old man in a purple robe. He had been to the ancient world. His name was Yao, and his cultivation was also at the 4-starred Sheng level. Almost all ancient races, before they completely break up, need to abide by the ancient clan covenant made thousands of years ago. Young Master Gu Fei is indeed extraordinary. It's only been a few years since we last met, but he has reached the level of a 4-starred Sheng. Yao is an old and powerful member of the Yan clan, but he was very polite when he greeted Gu Fei. Gu Fei also nodded politely in response to Elder Yao. "I'm really envious." Yuan was also amazed. "Aren't you also a high-level semi-saint?" Gu Fei smiled slightly. Yuan's strength improvement is not bad, and there is an extra strange fire in his body. Presumably, it is the desolate destruction flame of the Yan clan, which ranks 6th on the list of strange fires. This makes Gu Fei envious. He has never obtained a strange fire ranked so high. Of course, in terms of the power of the flame, Gu Fei's fusion strange fire can already surpass the 4th-ranked Golden Emperor Burning Heaven Flame. "Mr. Goof, long time no see." Huozi greeted Goof with a shy face, obviously still embarrassed by Huozhuan's words, but Goof was very calm. "Now, just quietly wait for the best time to enter the space, and then try to subdue the pure lotus demon fire." After a few people chatted, Gu Nanhai sighed and put his hands behind his back. He raised his head and locked his eyes on the distorted sky in the distance. The terrifying high temperature continued to spread out from the broken space. The frequency of the milky white light appeared more and more. Later, the desert below became sticky, and the sand was gradually melting. As the desert gradually turned to magma, the sound of breaking wind around became more and more frequent, and more strong people were attracted by the strange phenomenon here. Therefore, in just half an hour, many figures appeared densely in the sky. However, most of these figures stopped at a very far distance from the broken space. Only those who were truly strong dared to approach the broken space within 1,000 feet, like Goof, Hunmush and others. While waiting, the people of the Thunder Clan, Stone Clan, and Spirit Clan among the 8 ancient clans also arrived one after another. The last ancient race strongman to appear was the ancient Medicine Clan. The 3 people who came had been to the ancient world before. They were Yao Tian, Yao Wangai, and Yao Tian's sister Yao Ling. Yao Tian is lucky. The Medicine Clan fed him a precious pill that was almost able to become a 9th grade Xoandan. His own strength is already a one-star Sheng mid-stage. As the 3 people from the Medicine Clan appeared here, Huozhuan couldn't help but be envious and jealous. Chapter 240 Goof's Weak Spot. Master Goof. I heard that Master Goof can refine the 9th grade precious pill level body grade Huandan. Can you let me learn from him? One day, after the strong men of several ancient races appeared, many of the old strong men came to Goof very politely to greet him. On the other hand, no one was interested in the young clan leaders of the Soul Clan and the Medicine Clan. Faced with this situation, Hun Feng and Yao Tian could not even feel jealous, because they knew how huge the gap between themselves and Goof was. Soon, everyone's attention returned to the broken space in the distance. The milky white light there was now pouring down like liquid, and the desert below was also turned into a piece of milky white magma. Boom. This waiting lasted for about 3 hours. The broken space also expanded from several feet to dozens of feet. The expansion of the broken space finally stopped slowly when it reached a range of about 100 meters. Indistinctly, a milky white light circle formed in the broken space. It's time to move. Goof opened his eyes and said lightly. As soon as he finished speaking, the surrounding space suddenly heard the sound of breaking wind. A long and powerful figure came from a distance like lightning, and then crashed into the milky white light circle. "Ha, Brother Goof, we will go in first." After Huozhuan and the others bowed, they moved and swept into the milky white light circle under the leadership of the elder Huo Yao. Let's go in too." Goof didn't waste any time. As soon as he finished speaking, he rushed into the light circle with Gu Nanhai. Before entering, Goof was prepared. He knew that the pure lotus demon fire could use human emotions as a guide to make the demon fire be born from the human body. Once the demon fire appeared in the body, even the soul would be burned into nothingness. So, after entering that space, try to keep your mind calm. Don't be happy with things. Don't be sad with things. The moment his body flew into the light circle, Goof's skin suddenly tightened. What a terrible temperature. The first feeling that the space changed gave Goof was that he was in a furnace. This space was filled with milky white flames. Even he, who had swallowed several kinds of strange fire, felt the abnormally hot temperature. Goof's heart moved, and the strange fire in his body instantly surged out, wrapping his whole body. His body was suspended in the air, and he didn't dare to be contaminated by the milky white flames. Let's leave here first. Goof's eyes swept around, and then he touched the void with his toes, trying to find Gu Nanhai, who entered this place with him. After flying forward for nearly 10 minutes, Goof suddenly stopped. During this 10-minute journey, the sea of fire still had no end, as if it would never end. Could it be? Goof thought of something. At this moment, there was a movement in front of him, and several figures emerged. Not far in front of him, a colorful figure emerged, making Goof's eyelids jump fiercely. "Care!" Goof exclaimed in surprise. In his sight, Xun'er had been captured by Hun Maish and the other two, and her life was in danger at any time. Hun Maish, you are looking for death. Seeing this scene, Guf's heart was filled with murderous intent, and his fighting spirit could not help but spread out. Husband, don't worry about me. Xun'er's voice was so real, it stimulated Guf's nerves even more. Guf, you can't imagine that your wife is in our hands now. If you don't obey, we will prepare for her funeral. In response to Guf's roar, Hun Maish smiled coldly and clenched his palm. Xun'er's body exploded directly, and only a soul was left in the end. Die. Guf's eyes were red, and his body trembled violently. A terrifying murderous intent swept out from the depths of his heart. As if sensing the endless mad-killing intent in Guf's heart, Hun Misheng's face showed a strange smile. Puff. Guf's eyes turned blood red. However, suddenly, his body solidified instantly, and streams of milky white flames suddenly burst out from his body pores. Demon fire? The sudden pain in his body also made Guf regain some reason. When he looked up, he found that Hun Misheng and the other two in front of him had disappeared. Xun'er's trace also disappeared. It seems that everything just now was an illusion that caused people's emotional fluctuations. This scene made Guf startled, then anger surged in his heart. The illusion created by the demon fire just made Guf experience an extremely painful scene. No, I can't continue to have abnormal emotions. It will give the demon fire another chance. Guf's eyes were terribly calm. His handprints changed rapidly, and the strange fire in his body was completely running, madly spreading to every part of his body. After a stalemate for a while, the milky white flame in the body finally retreated inch by inch, and was forced out of the pores. It is worthy of being a demon fire. The illusion created is no worse than the ancient body tree. Guf wiped off the cold sweat, and his mind moved. The strange fire in his body quickly rushed to his pupils. As the flame surged, the world in front of him suddenly changed. The milky white sea of fire disappeared, and was replaced by a milky white mist of about dozens of feet. At this moment, in this mist, many people with different faces were flying in place. The bodies of some of them were wrapped in milky white flames. Guf would not care about the life and death of these people at all. They chose to come to grab treasures and be prepared to deal with various risks. Found it. Guf's sweeping eyes finally found Gu Nanhai. At this moment, the surface of Gu Nanhai's body also faintly appeared milky white flames, which was the prelude to the burning of the demon fire. Fortunately, Gu Nanhai's cultivation reached the level of a 4-star Sheng, and he could hold out longer than ordinary people, so he didn't get into trouble so soon. SHH. Guf appeared beside Gu Nanhai in a flash, and slammed his palm on his back. A low shout suddenly came out of his mouth. Guf mixed his soul fluctuations in this shout, and the sound waves mixed with this wave were directly transmitted to Gu Nanhai's ears. Gu Nanhai's tightly closed eyes also suddenly opened at this moment. Hoo-hoo! Gu Nanhai glanced at Guf beside him, panting continuously, and after a while, he wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. What a terrifying pure lotus demon fire! It actually deliberately set up illusions to cause people's emotional fluctuations, and then set fire to itself. If it weren't for you, the young clan leader, who woke me up, I'm afraid my fate would be very miserable now, Gu Nanhai said with lingering fear. Chapter 241, Illusion Within Illusion, Endless Fire Slaves. The fog here is a bit weird. Let's leave this area first. Seeing Gu Nanhai's lingering fear, Guf also laughed bitterly. Even he almost fell into the illusion just now. Fortunately, Guf had a powerful strange fire in his body, and the emotional value system could determine that Xun'er and the 3 Soul Clan members who appeared were fake, because they did not show any emotions at all, and there was no emotional prompt. Where are the others? Gu Nanhai frowned. This demon fire space is too weird. It is full of deadly dangers. Even a Cheng strongman would be in danger if he entered here. This should be the strategy of the demon fire. After entering, many people were isolated, but not completely isolated. Let's go. Guf waved his hand. He glanced at the other guys who were trapped in the illusion, and then quickly flew out of the mist. He didn't know most of these people, and he had no friendship with them, so he naturally wouldn't be a good person to rescue them one by one. Most of them came here for the pure lotus demon fire. If you come here knowing the danger, You will have to pay the price for your greed. Next, Gu Fei and Gu Nanhai flew quickly and rushed out of the range covered by the mist. Brother Gu Fei, Master Gu Fei, I knew you would be able to get rid of those illusions. Just as the two of them flew out of the mist, the voices of Huo Yuan and Huo Zi came from the front. Hearing this, Gu Fei raised his head. Not far ahead, he saw a huge platform floating in the air. At the end of the platform, there was a huge white door, and at this moment, on the platform stood the three people from the Yan clan who came here this time. The three of them had a strange fire and got rid of that illusion. Ding! Huo Yuan has a happy emotion. The emotion value increases. Ding! Huo Zi has a happy emotion. The emotion value increases. Through the feedback of the emotion value, Gu Fei was able to immediately determine that these three people were not illusions. Gu Fei and Gu Nanhai flew over. These three people had a friendship with Gu Fei, and the joy in their hearts when they saw him escape from the predicament just now was also real, so Gu Fei naturally treated them with courtesy. I didn't expect that the pure lotus demon fire could already release the nightmare sky mist. It seems that its strength has greatly improved in the past 1,000 years. Elder Huoyao of the Yan clan said with emotion. Nightmare sky mist. This was originally the unique skill of the pure lotus demon saint, and people of the ancient races had heard of it. It is said that the pure lotus demon saint once used this move to cover a city. The people in the city felt that they had lived in it for hundreds of years. After the mist dissipated, they suddenly realized that the 100-year experience was just a dream. The pure lotus demon fire now is probably a bit stronger than it was 1,000 years ago. Gu Nanhai nodded in response. According to the ancestors of the clan, this happened last time. If you followed the road behind the giant gate, you will naturally be able to see the pure lotus demon fire. We have to break through. Huoyao pointed to the gate behind him and invited Gu Fei and the others. Well, this is the territory of the pure lotus demon fire. Even we have to abide by its rules before we see its true form. Gu Nanhai nodded and smiled faintly. He was about to say something again when the space around him suddenly fluctuated violently. A terrifying temperature slowly spread from all around. Everyone be careful. Seeing this scene, Gu Fei frowned. Now, the backup plan left by the pure lotus demon saint has not had much reaction. Therefore, he can only follow the rules here for the time being until the demon fire appears. Boom boom. As the space became more and more distorted, cracks suddenly appeared. In these cracks, waves of milky white flames like huge waves swept out from them. Then, figures with milky white flames all over their bodies surged out of the cracks like a tide. These figures were surrounded by flames, holding flaming spears in their hands, and staring at Gu Fei and others with emotionless eyes. Fire slaves. Everyone was from the ancient race, so they were not unfamiliar with this kind of thing. These were all powerful people who had been refined by the pure lotus demon fire, equivalent to puppets. Roar! The next moment, the thousands of flame figures roared violently, and then they all moved their bodies, sweeping towards Gu Fei and others in an overwhelming manner, with an extremely huge momentum. However, all the people present were saints, and there were also 3 top 4-star Cheng level masters, Gu Fei, Gu Nanhai, and Huoyao. Under their attack, these fire slaves were killed in large numbers, and they seemed to have no power to fight back. However, no matter how fierce the attack of Gu Fei and others was, there were still a steady stream of fire slaves pouring out of those cracks. They were inexhaustible. It's useless to kill them like this. We can only go in. Gu Nanhai shouted in a deep voice. The others also nodded slightly. Next, a group of people rushed through the flame crowd like a broken bamboo, and finally each of them blasted upon, fiercely hitting the giant door. Bang! Everyone blasted hard together, and the giant door burst open directly. According to the ancestors of the clan, the end of this demon fire hall is where the demon fire body is. Gu Nanhai shouted. Gu Fei did not stop him. For the time being, perhaps only by seeing the last pure lotus demon fire illusion in the hall could the remnant soul of the pure lotus demon saint between his eyebrows react. When they broke into the next hall, the milky white flames filled their eyes. In this huge hall square of nearly thousands of feet, densely packed flame figures stood upright. They did not make any sound, but there was an extremely terrifying momentum that permeated this space. That momentum seemed to be fused together and turned into a giant flame dragon, hovering above the heads of these flame figures, full of murderous aura. Gu Fei and his party had already passed through 3 halls that were almost the same as this one. However, the deeper they went, the stronger the fire slaves that appeared in the hall were. After careful sensing, I am afraid that every fire slave has the strength of Xun level. A Xun may not be worth mentioning in front of them, but when their number reaches 10,000, even Sheng has to deal with it seriously. Moreover, the energy of the heaven and earth in this space is mixed with traces of demonic fire, and no one dares to absorb it easily. If you only release but not absorb, the qi will be exhausted sooner or later, and even Sheng can't hold on forever. No, if we continue like this, we will all be exhausted here, Yuan said breathlessly. Such a high-intensity battle made him and Huozi, who only had the strength of a half-saint, feel a huge pressure, and the qi was consumed greatly. Chapter 242 Blood Action Chen. This pure lotus demon fire just wants to play with us like dolls. Gu Fei's reaction at this moment was extremely calm. He looked at the sky of the hall and said lightly. Hearing this, everyone frowned slightly. Being played with by a strange fire was something that people could not accept. Keep going. Gu Fei waved his hand and walked forward. Next, everyone continued to destroy the army of fire slaves in the hall in an instant with a devastating gesture. Then everyone turned into light and shadow, and appeared at the end of the hall in a few flashes. They smashed the huge door again and walked in proudly. In the following time, it was still extremely boring to pass the level, and the mode of passing the level was also extremely monotonous. In every huge hall, there were exactly the same fire slaves. Even, there were many fire slaves with the strength of semi-saints. The young generation like Yuan and Huozi were no longer of much use. At this time, Gu Nanhai understood why Gu Fei did not let other young people in the clan come to the place where the demon fire was born to train from the beginning. If you are not itching, you will either be cannon fodder or a burden if you come here, which will only cause trouble. Bang! Another huge palace door was smashed by Gu Fei with an expressionless palm. A huge palace appeared again amid the flying stone chips. It seems that we have arrived at Zhao Chen's place. Gu Fei glanced around and murmured in his heart. The people around him also exclaimed in surprise, because they found that there were not many fire slaves in this huge palace. In the center of the huge palace, there was only a somewhat skinny figure standing upright. Four-starred Sheng. Feeling the breath of that figure, Gu Nanhai and Huo Yao's faces also slowly surged with solemnity. Although the two of them are also four-starred Sheng, the skinny figure in the hall is even stronger than them. Is this a fire slave too? Yuan was stunned. How terrifying is this pure lotus demon fire? It can actually turn a four-starred Sheng into a fire slave. No matter how strong he is, we must defeat him before we can reach the hall behind. Gu Nanhai and Huo Yao showed great fighting spirit. When everyone landed on the hall, the figure slowly opened his eyes. He was only wearing the most ordinary clothes. His face was stiff, without any expression. His eyes were cold, like the black ice that had not melted for thousands of years. Bang! In the quiet hall, the ground suddenly shook heavily. The skinny figure gently grasped the air in front of him, and a huge blood-red axe that was several feet long and looked extremely exaggerated and weird appeared out of thin air. Against the backdrop of such a huge axe, his skinny figure looked a little funny, but everyone present could clearly feel the terrible power hidden in that skinny body. This person is so strong, but he seems a little familiar. Like someone. Looking at the blood-red axe, Gu Nanhai frowned slightly, as if thinking about something. After the bloody axe appeared, the two sides didn't talk nonsense. Gu Fei and his two companions, in the most savage manner, fiercely collided with the figure. Dang dang! On the vast huge hall, four figures flashed at a dazzling speed, and as they flashed and emerged, dazzling sparks continued to splash. Yuan and Huozi could only retreat and not cause trouble for Gu Fei and his companions. In the huge hall, under the attack of Gu Fei and his two companions, the skinny figure holding the huge bloody axe, although strong, was still no match for the three people and was constantly repelled. This time, Gu Nanhai realized how terrifying Gu Fei's combat power was. To deal with this fire slave, it was completely up to Gu Fei to suppress it. Roar! Being repelled again, the blood axe figures in different eyes suddenly surged with a crazy heat. A low roar came from his throat, and a strong light suddenly burst out from his brow. In the light, a rune slowly appeared in everyone's sight. When the rune appeared, the man's aura suddenly surged. This seems to be the Xiao clan's emblem. Seeing this scene, Gu Hei and Xiao Yan were stunned and very surprised. Bang! In that scene, the skinny man with a soaring aura chopped out fiercely with an axe. Bang! Facing such a terrible attack that was powerful enough to split the sky and the earth, Gu Hei and Xiao Yan worked together to intercept it but were actually beaten back. You retreat. Gu's figure flashed out, came in front of the two, and faced the fire slave alone. Blood Axe Xiao, do you want to be a fire slave forever? Have you forgotten that you are from the ancient Xiao clan? Gu spoke loudly, and even used the power of the soul, and his voice was extremely penetrating. Hearing this, the skinny man with an unusually cold expression finally showed a wave of emotion on his zombie-like face. Xiao clan. Hearing this word, the skinny man's indifferent eyes showed waves of emotion. Who am I? The skinny man's eyes showed confusion. So this person is Xiao. As for this blood-colored axe, I have only seen it in ancient books. In the past, the Xiao clan had a stunning person. His famous weapon was an extremely large blood-colored axe, and this person was called Xiao. The others were very shocked. They were all from ancient races, so they knew some secrets about the Xiao clan. Chapter 243 No Emotions, Everything is an Illusion. It is said that Blood Axe Xiao was very talented back then, and he was also the cousin of Yuan, the head of the Xiao clan. However, he did not like to be restrained and was moody. Before he became famous, countless strong men died under his axe, but later, Xiao disappeared for no reason, and no one could find him. I didn't expect that he would appear here. So, Xiao also escaped a great disaster for the Xiao clan. When everyone talked about Xiao, their faces showed some sighs and sighs. Xiao escaped the great disaster of the Xiao clan. In the eyes of ordinary people, it might be a kind of luck. However, according to Xiao's personality, he absolutely did not want to live in the world. He would rather die for the clan than live like a walking corpse. In the field, Xiao's face showed some struggling expressions at this time, as if he was resisting something. The faint milky white flames also gradually sprang out from the pores in his body. Let me help you. The light ball left by the pure lotus demon saint in Gu's brow gave some hints. The next moment, his figure flashed. He quickly came to Xiao's side and quickly put his hand on Xiao's shoulder. Xiao's trembling body stopped. The milky white flame that wanted to burst out of his body also slowly dissipated. Xiao took a few breaths. Thank you for saving me, my friend. After calming down, Xiao spoke with great gratitude. This is the demon fire space. If you want to thank us, take us to the place where the demon fires and let us defeat it. Gu waved his hand and said softly, Pure lotus demon fire, with your strength, you are far from its opponent. Hearing this, Xiao shook his head and said, if you stay here, there is no way to survive. Is the will of the Blood Axe Xiao so scattered back then? Don't you have the courage to fight? Gu shook his head. Follow me. Xiao was not a coward. After Gu finished speaking, he made a decision and turned to walk towards the door of the hall. Creaky. A group of people followed Xiao silently, watching him slowly push open the huge door. Behind the huge door, a huge altar stone platform could be vaguely seen. Looking at the altar stone platform at the end, Gu smiled faintly and took the lead to step onto the stone stairs. Approaching the altar, I saw a huge throne standing silently on the altar. On the throne, a figure in a white robe sat quietly, and wisps of milky white flame swirled around him, constantly changing into various images. Defeat me, and you will get the origin of the demon fire. Otherwise, you will stay here forever and become my fire slaves. The voice of the man in the white robe was soft and kind, but after his voice came out, it seemed that even this space was trembling. Gu Hei, Xiao Yan and others looked solemn, because the man in front of them actually made them feel invincible. Pure lotus demon fire, I have to admit that the illusion you created is more realistic than that ancient body tree, but no matter how realistic the illusion is, it is still an illusion after all. Gu's eyes were not afraid at all. As Gu's voice fell, the gentle smile on the face of the handsome man on the throne gradually solidified. Gu did not receive the emotional value reminder. Therefore, It is more certain that the pure lotus demon fire in front of him is just an illusion. Illusion? Young clan leader, are you saying that we are still in an illusion? It shouldn't be, I should be real. The others were all surprised, and Yuan even reached out and touched himself. We are all real, Gu Fei explained. These illusions are not aimed at a certain person, but a large-scale illusion. Why do you know so much about Nightmare Sky Mist? On the throne, the man in white robe finally spoke slowly with a somewhat grim voice. Want to know? When you were refined by me, you will know naturally, Gu Fei replied with a faint smile. With the emotional value system, there is basically no illusion in this world that can confuse him. Insolent, the man in white robe roared, staring at Gu Fei with cold and ruthless eyes. Wisps of milky white flames slowly spread from his body. Suddenly, a destructive high temperature gradually enveloped this space. Seeing the white-robed man's momentum, King Hei and Xiao Yan both looked solemn. Everyone, here, his strength depends on what we think in our hearts. As long as he doesn't exist, he can't cause any harm to us, Gu Fei said in a low voice. Looking for death. After Gu Fei's voice fell, the handsome face of the man in white robe finally changed drastically. He clenched his palms, and the milky white flame turned into a huge flaming spear. The spear brought a smell of destruction and shot violently at Gu Fei. Facing such an attack, Gu Fei did not take any defensive measures. The young clan leader will not put himself in danger. I believe in the judgment of Master Gu Fei. In the previous level, everyone regarded Gu Fei as the backbone. So even in the face of such a huge pressure at this moment, they did not use any fighting spirit to defend. Bang! The huge flaming spear fell from the sky, and finally mixed with the force of destruction, fiercely hitting everyone's body. However, just when they thought their bodies would be severely injured, the flaming spear suddenly disappeared. Sure enough, it's okay. Huo Ziqiao's face showed surprise. She looked at Gu Fei with a look full of admiration and love. As a genius, they were not a little bit worse than Gu Fei. Asshole. In the sky, a look of anger appeared on the handsome face of the white-robed man. His body actually appeared a little illusory at this moment. The nightmare illusion is broken, Gu Fei pointed with two fingers, and a stream of blood shot out from his fingertips. The blood quickly moved on his fingertips, forming a strange blood symbol, the symbol of breaking nightmares. How could you? Seeing the blood symbol, the face of the pure lotus demon fire suddenly became gloomy. Go. Gu Fei ignored him and lightly tapped his fingers. The blood symbol shot out violently and finally stuck hard on the void in front. This piece of space exploded in an instant. After the illusion was broken, everyone found that the surroundings had turned into a magma sea. Above the magma sea, there were some extremely large rocks floating. Gu Fei and others were on these rocks. Not far behind them, a huge silver light circle was slowly rotating. Finally out. At this moment, everyone's face showed a feeling of surviving a disaster. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 244 Xun'er, I was worried about you, so I followed you. Swish, swish. When Gu Fei and his companions were looking around, figures suddenly appeared from the surrounding rocks. They were suspended in the sky, breathing heavily, and their faces were full of fear. Young patriarch, it seems that you just tore open the illusion, which caused some chain reactions and brought out other people. Seeing those people, Gu Fei said, the nightmare fog is like this. If one part is broken, the whole illusion will collapse. Gu Fei smiled slightly and didn't care. The next moment, a huge magma column about 100 feet high rose in the magma sea. A handsome man in a white robe stepped on the magma column. Looking at the white-robed man who suddenly appeared on the magma column, the space suddenly became silent. One by one, greedily and hotly looked at the former, because the real body of the man in front of him was the real pure lotus demon fire. Pure lotus demon fire. I didn't expect that in just 1,000 years, you have cultivated the nightmare sky mist inherited by the pure lotus demon saint to this level. It is really impressive. On a rock, Hun Misheng, who was wearing a black robe, slowly raised his head and stared at the pure lotus demon fire with a slightly unpleasant expression. This demon fire is getting more and more weird. This time, no matter what, we can't let him go unpunished. If he escapes, Zhongzhou will be in ruins. The elder Yao Wangai of the Yao clan stared at the pure lotus demon fire with extremely fiery eyes. Hearing Yao Wangai's words, many people around nodded in agreement. To put it bluntly, almost everyone here came to get the pure lotus demon fire. Those righteous words were just excuses to cover up greed. Hearing what Hunmi Sheng and others said, the white-robed man ignored them and locked his eyes directly on Gu Fei, who remained silent. Tell me, why were you able to break my nightmare-mist illusion? I've said it before, I'll tell you naturally when you're refined by me. Facing the cold eyes of the pure lotus demon fire, Gu Fei was still extremely relaxed. It turned out that he tore the illusion apart. Hearing Gu Fei's words, the faces of the people around him were full of shock. They didn't expect that the young patriarch of the ancient clan would be so strong. Master Gu Fei is really capable. All of us here owe you a favor. Many powerful people of the ancient race complimented him. Brother Gu Fei, I didn't expect you to save me again. Just now, I thought I was going to die in that illusion. In the crowd, a woman in a black cloak turned to Gu Fei in surprise when he was talking, and ran away. Ms. Xun'er, looking at the woman who took off her cloak halfway and revealed a beautiful face, the expression on Gu Nanhai's old face was very surprised. This time, the demon fire descended, and the young clan leader clearly ordered that no one else should come. Why did Ms. Xun'er sneak out? Ms. Xun'er, how can you be so ignorant? This place is very dangerous. Gu Nanhai's tone was also somewhat reproachful at this time. Xun'er's cultivation was half saint, and coming here was basically a drag. I was worried about Brother Gu Fei, so I followed him. Xun'er explained with her head down. She kept looking at Gu Fei, but at this moment, Gu Fei ignored her at all. This woman always acted willfully and recklessly without considering the consequences. According to the clan rules, it would be a light punishment for her to be locked up for 100 years. Arrogant boy, it doesn't matter if you don't say it. After I turn you into my fire slave, you will naturally tell me in detail. The white-robed man on the lava column looked at Gu Fei for a few seconds, then waved his hand, and an invisible wave spread out. In the distance, the milky white halo in the sky suddenly dissipated slowly. The space channel has disappeared. Does this thing want to keep all of us here? Seeing this scene, everyone was worried. Alas, Ms. Xun'er, now the space channel is gone, and we can't get out. Remember not to run around. Stay with me and the young clan leader, Gu Nanhai said angrily. Yes. Xun'er nodded seriously. Demon fire refining the sky. The space channel was wiped out, and then, a blazing milky white flame suddenly burst out from the body of the white-robed man. The flame spread, like a flame prison, wrapping everyone in. This pure lotus demon fire wants to refine all of us. The Yan clan's Huoyao elder said solemnly. The pure lotus demon fire is extremely terrifying. Now it is probably equivalent to a 5-star peaked Sheng strongman. Coupled with the strange ability of the demon fire, even if it faces a 6-starred Sheng, he can fight. No one here can surpass him. Dao Chen, who had never spoken, also said slowly at this time. He knew the pure lotus demon fire very well, so he was naturally aware of its current strength, the peak of the 5-starred Sheng. Upon hearing this, Gu Nanhai and Huo Yao's faces changed slightly. There is a huge gap between each level of Sheng, and for some reasons, the people of the ancient races are all 4-starred Sheng. Bang bang, just as everyone was on guard, a series of low explosions were heard not far behind. One figure after another suddenly exploded into a ball of blood mist. As soon as the blood mist appeared, it was completely evaporated by the terrifying high temperature. Ms. Xun'er, the pure lotus demon fire is extremely strange. It can use people's emotions as a guide to burn yourself. Don't think about it at this time. Gu Nanhai remembered what Gu Fei said before, and hurriedly reminded Xun'er beside him. However, at this time, Xun'er was very emotionally unstable for some reason. A ball of fire appeared in her heart. Xun'er's pretty face gradually revealed a painful look. Fortunately, she had refined the Golden Emperor Burning Heaven Flame, which ranked 4th on the list of strange fires, so that even though she was a half-saint, she could resist the burning of the milky white flame. Young clan leader, please help Ms. Xun'er. Gu Nanhai was very anxious at this moment, and his eyes hurriedly looked at Gu Fei. Hearing this, Gu Fei glanced at Xun'er, frowned, and then stretched out his hand and gently patted Xun'er on the slender shoulder, who, with the help of Gu Fei, the milky white flame in Xun'er's body was extinguished instantly. She was pale and sweaty on her forehead. "Brother Gu Fei, I'm sorry, I really shouldn't have been willful this time, and I shouldn't have come here to cause trouble for you and Elder Nan Hai," Xun'er said with shame. At this time, she finally realized that she was a burden here. The pure lotus demon fire was so powerful that Gu Fei and Gu Nanhai would have to distract themselves to protect themselves later. Chapter 245. Everyone has their own motives. Xun'er's shame. These trash don't even have the qualifications to be my fire slaves. Under the Cheng, it's hot. The cold voice of the pure lotus demon fire sounded on the lava column. As his last voice fell, the whole sky was instantly in chaos. Bang 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 bang. Here, more than 80% of the Zun strongmen had their bodies exploded in an extremely strange way at this moment, and died completely. What a horrible method. A chill rose in everyone's heart. Fortunately, there is Brother Gu Fei. Xun'er also understood that she was emotionally unstable just now and was invaded by the demon fire. If Gu Fei hadn't helped to expel it in advance, I'm afraid she would have exploded like those people just now. At this moment, seeing that Gu Fei ignored her, Xun'er didn't have any complaints in her heart. She just hoped that Gu Fei would not blame her and forgive her willful behavior. The remaining people are qualified to become my fire slaves. Looking at the empty sky, the pure lotus demon fire waved his palm, and 10 lava columns rushed out of the lava sea below. The magma column burst open, and 10 figures wearing milky white fire armor appeared around the pure lotus demon fire. They are all Sheng. The strongest fire slave actually has the strength of a late 3-starred Sheng. There are also several 2-starred Sheng. Facing the big move of the pure lotus demon fire, everyone present was slightly stagnant. You know, in Zongzhu, many sects can become a major sect as long as they have a Cheng in charge, and here, so many Cheng powerhouses are actually the fire slaves of the demon fire. This time, my collection is destined to be much richer. The pure lotus demon fire smiled with satisfaction. Everyone, no matter what grudges we had before, if we want to survive, we must join forces to deal with the demon fire. The Soul Hall Master's eyes first looked in the direction of Gu Fei. Gu Fei's strength is considered the strongest person present except him. Moreover, the Gu clan has 2 4-starred Shengs, which is unmatched by other clans. If Gu Fei and Gu Nanhai are unwilling to join forces, things will become much more troublesome. Although the Soul Palace is notorious, you have some truth in what you said. It seems that this pure lotus demon fire does not want to let us leave easily. The elder Huoya from the Yan clan who came this time hesitated for a moment, and finally spoke first. The current situation requires this. Seeing that the Yan clan nodded in agreement, the elders of the Medicine clan, the Thunder clan, the Stone clan, and the Spirit clan also nodded after pondering for a while. Young clan leader, what should we do? Seeing that Hun Maisheng's eyes stayed on him, Gu Nanhai asked Gu Fei's thoughts. Their Gu clan and the Soul clan were enemies. Let's cooperate for the time being, but later, Elder Nanhai, you can protect her, and I will deal with the demon fire, Gu Fei said lightly. Hearing Gu Fei's words, Xun'er felt ashamed and a warm current surged in her heart. She hadn't felt Gu Fei's concern so directly for a long time. Okay. Hearing Gu Fei's arrangement, Gu Nanhai naturally had no objection, not to mention Xun'er's divine bloodline. Just because she is the daughter of the clan leader, she must not make any mistakes in this demon fire space. Friend Gu Fei, for some reasons, I can't face the demon fire directly, otherwise it will control me again, but I can guarantee the safety of your friend. Dao Chen, who had never spoken, spoke at this time. He had always wanted to repay Gu Fei's previous kindness, and this time he finally had the opportunity to show his ability. Well, Gu Fei didn't expect Dao Chen to do anything. It was enough for him to take him to find the illusion of the pure lotus demon fire before. Gu Fei was not the kind of person who threatened with kindness. Hun Mai, as you said, we will cooperate first to solve the pure lotus demon fire. However, the Nanhai elder of our clan will not take action this time. The next moment, Gu Fei turned around and responded to Hun Mai over there. His attitude seemed very domineering, but no one felt unhappy. After all, The Gu clan sent 2 4-starred Sheng this time. Even if only one was sent, it would be equal to the people sent by their various clans. Moreover, those people were able to escape from the illusion created by the pure lotus demon fire because of Gu Fei. If it weren't for Gu Fei, they wouldn't have had the chance to face the pure lotus demon fire directly. Okay, Master Gu Fei is straightforward. Hun Maishan smiled slightly. In that case, friends with strength above 4-starred Sheng, let's work together to deal with the pure lotus demon fire. As for the other fire slaves, we have to ask others to take action. Hun Maishan began to gather people. Young clan leader, you must be more careful when you join forces to deal with the pure lotus demon fire later. Try not to use too much effort, so as not to be ambushed. Gu Nanhai was worried about Gu Fei and reminded him. Yes, the Soul clan is insidious. Brother Gu Fei, you must be careful. Xun'er also spoke with concern. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Gu Fei nodded, and then his figure flew out and came in front of the pure lotus demon fire. Seeing this, Hun Maishan also stepped on the void, and his figure trembled, and he appeared within 100 feet of the pure lotus demon fire. The other 4-starred Sheng masters also moved their bodies one by one at this moment, forming a circle to wrap the pure lotus demon fire in it. 7 ancient races, 7 4-starred Shengs. Just that kind of momentum is enough to deserve the word shocking the world. The others all retreated quickly and a lot at the same time. They couldn't do anything in such a shocking battle. As everyone retreated quickly, a strange smile appeared on the face of the pure lotus demon fire. What a memorable scene! Fire demon halberd. In the magma sea, a huge white flame halberd shot out violently, and in a flash, it appeared in the hands of the pure lotus demon fire. I have been sealed here for thousands of years. Today, whoever stops me will die. As the voice fell, the demon fire opened its mouth, and a huge demon fire wave of hundreds of feet suddenly sprayed out. The terrifying temperature even changed the faces of Hun Maishan and others. Attacked together, the overwhelming black fog was shot out from the palm of Hun Maishan, and collided with the huge wave of fire. However, at the first moment of contact, the black fog and dark clouds directly dissipated. The huge wave of fire split apart and turned into 7 huge pillars of fire, which fiercely exploded towards the 7 people. Seeing this, Gu Fei also solemnly hit forward with a palm to resist the terrifying attack. The other 5 4-starred Sheng masters did the same, and quickly sent out a stream of qi. Ding ding! In the sky, fireworks exploded, and the 7 figures retreated violently. Yao Wangai of the Medicine clan and the Sheng elders of the Stone clan and the Spirit clan had their clothes burned a lot, and they looked quite embarrassed. Great sadness hand. The pure lotus demon fire took advantage of the situation to pursue, and suddenly grabbed the magma sea below with its right hand. The next moment, a huge magma hand that was 1,000 feet long broke out of the sea. The giant hand, with astonishing heat, appeared above Gu Fei and the others in a flash, and then slapped them. Chapter 246. The Fierce Pure Lotus Demonic Fire. Boom! The giant magma hand was extremely fast. Just as it landed, before anyone could fight back, it slapped Gu Fei and the other 7 people like slapping a fly. Finally, with a few plops, they were all shot into the magma below. Brother Gu Fei, Xun'er exclaimed when she saw Gu Fei and the others being hit into the magma by the pure lotus demon fire. And like things, the pure lotus demon fire was full of confidence at this time. Bang bang! However, the next moment, the magma sea suddenly exploded, and 7 embarrassed figures rushed out again, and finally suspended in the air. Among them, the conditions of Gu Fei and Hun Maishan did not seem to be affected much. Seeing this, Xun'er breathed a sigh of relief. Everyone, if you continue to hide your secrets, I'm afraid you won't have a chance to make a move. Above the sea, Hun Maishan shouted at everyone with a gloomy face. His words made some sense. In the previous battle, everyone had already suffered injuries, especially those with residual strength from the demon fire. Go all out, defeat the pure lotus demon fire first. Yes, it's time to go all out. Several elders of the ancient races agreed. The next moment, the aura of the 7 people surged. It was obvious that everyone had been holding back before and had not tried their best. At this moment, the qi in their bodies was running wildly. For a moment, the world was filled with strong winds, dark clouds, and thunder. Even the magma sea below was roaring wildly, raising hundreds of feet of magma waves. The 7 force-charged Shengs finally showed their strongest power. This is a bit interesting. Fire slaves. Kill the others. It's enough to have these people as fire slaves. The pure lotus demon fire raised his eyes slightly and looked at the people in the distance. A grim smile appeared on his handsome face. 10 Sheng-level fire slaves began to rush towards the people in the distance. Ms. Xun'er, let's step back. Gu Nanhai would not selflessly help others deal with these fire slaves, so he took Xun'er back. The rest of the people did the same, retreating one after another, unless the fire slaves came close to them. Swish, swish, swish. 10 flaming figures appeared in front of the crowd. Their empty eyes slowly swept, and then suddenly rushed out. They flew in different directions, directly towards the selected targets. Get out of the way. A fire slave with the strength of a 2-starred Sheng came towards Xun'er and Gu Nanhai, and was directly blasted thousands of feet away by Gu Nanhai's palm. Relying on the milky white flame gauze on his body, the fire slave did not die immediately. This also proved how difficult these fire slaves were to kill. I'm afraid that unless their bodies were directly blasted to pieces, they could not be killed. Xun'er, with Gu Nanhai's protection, naturally would be fine, but the others were not so comfortable. At this moment, there were still some Xun strongmen who survived by chance in the sky. Although most of these guys were at the peak of Xun, they didn't even dare to get involved in such a battle between Shengs. They could only flee far away like desperate. Now, they just realized how stupid it was to enter here. Roar! The entire sky above the magma sea was included in the fierce battle circle. Of course, the most fierce and terrifying one was naturally the huge battle circle in the middle, which was the main battlefield between the 7 force-charged Sheng masters and the pure lotus demon fire. With the efforts of the 7 people, even the pure lotus demon fire needed to be dealt with seriously at this moment. Bang! There was a sudden earth-shattering sound from the small battlefield. A fire slave directly exploded. The self-explosion of a Sheng master is not a simple matter. That kind of power really has the power to destroy the world. Boom! After the first fire slave exploded, the body of another fire slave expanded at a speed visible to the naked eye, and then exploded in front of those horrified eyes. The terrible energy storm swept across the sky at an astonishing speed. Puff! Some unlucky guys who ran late were just hit by the violent energy and spurted out a mouthful of blood. Let's go! Gu Nanhai ran with Xun'er. Before the storm swept over, they escaped to a relatively safe place. Boom boom boom. However, the others were not so fast. There were several fire slaves who rushed to some strong men in the explosion before death, and then exploded again in their horrified eyes. The energy that was close to destruction, almost in an instant, it tore those unlucky guys into nothingness. Some people who survived by chance looked at the magma sea below with dull eyes. They didn't expect that these fire slaves were not only difficult to kill, but also exploded. Everyone, help me! Now is the best time to seal the demon fire. At this moment, a shocking shout suddenly came from the huge battlefield in the distance. Hunmi, with disheveled hair, soared into the sky. He slapped the air with his palm, and a huge black formation of 10,000 feet appeared in the sky. The center of the formation just locked onto the pure lotus demon fire below. It's the heavenly demon sealing formation, Xun'er exclaimed when she saw the huge black formation in the sky. Judging from her expression, it was obvious that this formation was quite famous. Good. Gu Fei naturally knew this formation. At the moment, he just wanted to delay time. When the residual soul of the pure lotus demon saint reacted in his brow, it would be a sure thing to subdue the demon fire. After the 6 people responded, 6 vast and majestic energy columns that made people tremble surged up from all directions, and finally rushed directly into the formation in the sky. Swish! Receiving such a vast energy support, Hunmi's handprints changed quickly, the formation trembled, and a beam of light suddenly shot out from the center of the formation, and finally hit the body of the pure lotus demon fire below as fast as lightning. Sanlao refining fire, transform into the origin. Swish! A huge black light column shot down from the center of the formation. The speed of the light column was so fast that it hit the demon fire in just a flash. Ah! The body of the pure lotus demon fire was hit by the black light column, and it immediately sensed an extremely strange decomposition force erupting from the light column. Bang bang bang! Facing the strange power in the black light column, even the pure lotus demon fire felt a sense of crisis in its heart. At that moment, his body suddenly expanded and turned directly into a huge flame shape that was 1,000 feet long. The temperature between heaven and earth rose sharply. The black light column also rippled in circles, and even became slightly distorted. Everyone, pour all your strength into the formation, otherwise it will break the seal and we will all die here. Seeing this scene, Han Maisheng's face suddenly changed, and he shouted at Gu Fei and others. Chapter 247 Soul Wind. Why didn't the ancient tribe snatch the demon fire? Let's attack together. Gu Fei smiled, glanced at the few people, and then mobilized a large amount of qi to pour into the formation that Han Maisheng had cast. Seeing this, the Qi masters of the other 5 ancient races also increased their qi infusion. You want to seal me? Forget it. The pure lotus demon fire began to counterattack frantically. This made Han Maisheng and the 7 people including Gu Fei look very ugly. Everyone, fight it! Han Maisheng wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and a hideous look also surged on his ordinary face. He bit his tongue and a mouthful of blood spurted out, and then shot into the light column. Kai kai kai. As the 7 people began to fight desperately, the light in the light column suddenly became brighter. The huge body of the pure lotus demon fire actually began to shrink rapidly under the energy of the formation. Heavenly Wo demon sealing formation, seal. Seeing this, Han Maisheng was overjoyed, and his handprints changed rapidly, and finally shouted loudly. In a short moment, the black formation turned into a black cylinder about 10 feet long. In the cylinder, a ball of milky white flame slowly rose, and an extremely terrifying temperature quietly spread out. Success! Seeing this scene, Xiao Yan and others breathed a sigh of relief. At least their lives were not in danger. As the pure lotus demon fire was sealed by the formation, there was a brief silence in the sky. Haha, this cooperation is really pleasant. The demon fire has finally been sealed, which can be regarded as saving the lives of the people in Zhongzhou from suffering. Thank you. After Han Maisheng adjusted his breath, he laughed loudly and bowed to Gu Fei and others. This guy. Is he going to start snatching the demon fire? Gu Fei already knew Han Maisheng's intention. Although he still had some strength left at this moment, he pretended to be seriously injured. In addition, he sent a message to Gu Nanhai who was watching from a distance, indicating that he should not snatch the demon fire later, but just watch the show from the side. Okay. Hearing this, Gu Nanhai was puzzled, but still believed in Gu Fei's judgment. Haha, thank you all for today. Our Soul Clan will remember your kindness. As expected by Gu Fei, Han Maisheng quickly reached out to grab the black light column in the sky. Under the huge suction force, the black light column began to move quickly towards Han Maisheng. Asshole, the Soul Clan really has other plans. This scene startled the others, and they quickly came to their senses, and the sound of angry curses suddenly resounded in the sky. Humphrey, it's not that easy to take away the demon fire. The elder Huoyao of the Yan clan and the elder with the cultivation level of force Tardashing from the Thunder clan suppressed the surging blood in their bodies at this moment, and worked together to hit the black light column fiercely. Under the attack of the two of them, the direction of the black light column was forcibly changed. Asshole! Seeing this, Han Maisheng was furious. However, at this time, he did not directly attack the two people, but sent a message to Han Feng and another member of the Soul Clan. Why don't you two go grab the demon fire? Do it. Han Feng and another person heard this and immediately reacted and grabbed the light column. These two people, in this area, are considered top powerhouses except for the ancient clan. Other forces, such as the Burning Flame Valley and the Dan Tower, cannot find a powerhouse that can compete with them. That is the source of the demon fire. Grab it quickly. At this time, almost everyone in the sea area reacted, and immediately cast a fiery red gaze at the black light column that was constantly flying in the sky, because there is the original power of the demon fire sealed in it. If anyone can get it, their strength will undoubtedly increase instantly. Swish! Countless people frantically displayed their body skills and began to grab the black light column. The Nanhai elder of the ancient clan did not move to grab it. Is this a trick? Huo Zi and Huo Zhuan looked at the most powerful contender, Gu Nanhai, standing still, and immediately became suspicious. Perhaps, in the eyes of the Nanhai elders, the demon fire is not as important as the safety of Ms. Xun'er. Huo's eyes were filled with emotion. In her opinion, Xun'er's coming this time was a big burden. Otherwise, with the 2 4-star dashings of the Gu clan, they would definitely be the biggest winners of this snatch of the pure lotus demon fire. Nanhai elders, don't worry about me for now, go and snatch the demon fire. Xun'er saw Gu Nanhai standing still. She also subconsciously thought that Gu Nanhai was worried about her safety and did not dare to take any action. Thinking of Guf's previous attitude of vowing to the demon fire, Xun'er did not want Guf to be disappointed. If she lost the demon fire because of Gu Nanhai's protection, she would feel very guilty. Ms. Xun'er, the young clan leader just told you that this demon fire cannot be snatched. Gu Nanhai explained. Can't go and rob? Hearing this explanation, Xun'er subconsciously thought that it was Guf who told Gu Nanhai to protect himself. So, the young clan leader must have his reasons for doing this. Let's not mess around. Gu Nanhai continued. On the other side, a Zongzi strongman who was closer had already grabbed the black light column. Haha, I got the origin of the demon fire. This person laughed excitedly. However, as soon as his laughter sounded, nearly 10 sharp fist winds hit him without any mercy. Bang! Under such intensive attacks, this strong man with the strength of a high-level semi-saint died without even a scream. Get out of here. The 2 people from the Soul Clan rushed over. With their strength, the others were no match at all. Although Hun Feng was only a late-stage 2-starred Sheng, his combat power was comparable to that of an ordinary 3-starred Sheng. With a few random moves, more than a dozen strong men around him were killed by him. Haha, the source of the demon fire belongs to my Soul Clan. Hun Feng grabbed the black light column, and a touch of ecstasy appeared on his face. He didn't expect that snatching the source of the demon fire would be so smooth this time. What if the Gu clan had 2 4-starred Shengs? In the end, his Soul Clan would still benefit. Damn it, we can't let the demon fire fall into the Soul Clan. At this time, the 4-starred Shengs who fought against the pure lotus demon fire in the distance were all very angry, but they couldn't make a move for the time being. After defeating the pure lotus demon fire just now, most of them were a little weak and needed to recover. Master Guf, don't you still have Gu Nanhai in your clan? Why don't you make a move to snatch it? Hua Yao looked at Guf in surprise. After the voice fell, the Cheng masters of the other clans were also a little curious. Gu Nanhai did not participate in the fight just now. At this time, his condition was the best among the few people. If he made a move with his 4-starred Sheng cultivation, how could he give Hun Feng a chance? Haha, the rumors outside say that young Master Guf and Ms. Xun'er are not on good terms. It's just a rumor. You are willing to give up the origin of the demon fire in order to protect Ms. Xun'er's safety. That's respectable. Hun Misheng's words were polite on the surface, but they were full of sarcasm. If it were him, he would rather sacrifice Hun Feng than keep the demon fire. Chapter 248 Crisis. The Soul Clan's plan for a murder. So that's how it is. Master Guf was so deeply in love, but in the end, it's a pity. Hearing Hun Misheng's proud words, most of the others also thought so. They didn't think about anything else. Haha, since the 2 of you have such a deep relationship, this time, I will send Master Guf and Ms. Xun'er to the underworld to continue their relationship. After saying this, the smile on Hun Misheng's face suddenly froze, and turned into a cold one. What? The other elders of the ancient races were all shocked by Hun Misheng's words. Unexpectedly, Hun Misheng actually wanted to attack the ancient race's genius in this demon fire space. Guf's talent is close to that of a demon, and the ancient clan and the Soul Clan are not in harmony. It is normal for the Soul Clan to have such an idea, but I didn't expect that they would choose this place to start. Is he sure? Master Guf is also a 4-starred Sheng, but he is not someone that Hun Misheng can kill just by saying so. The Soul Clan has always been cunning. Maybe there are other conspiracies this time. The elders of several ancient clans discussed, but they all looked like they were standing by. Although Guf had been kind to everyone before, in the face of racial interests, they could not provoke the Soul Clan at will. What's more, everyone has jealousy, and among them, maybe some people also hope that Guf can die here. Hun Misheng, you are quite arrogant. Goof did not expect that Hun Misheng would have such a plan this time. It seems that the high-level people of the Soul Clan have already put him on the list of must-kills. Hun Misheng, you dare to speak arrogantly to the young clan leader. I think you don't want to live anymore. In the distance, Gu Nanhai noticed this. His eyes were about to spit fire, and he shouted angrily, HMPH, what's the point of saying these nonsense now? After Hun Misheng finished speaking, he ignored Gu Nanhai and quickly flashed towards Goof. On his big hand, the fighting spirit quietly condensed, and he grabbed Goof's head fiercely. It was obvious that he was going to kill him. Brother Goof, be careful. Xun'er was very worried. Hun Misheng had been famous for a long time, and Goof had consumed a lot when dealing with the demon fire just now. He must be weak at this time. Huozi of the Yan clan was also worried about Goof. At this time, her pretty face under the veil turned pale, fearing that Goof would get into trouble. Hun Misheng recovered so quickly. It seems that his strength is at the top level among the 4-starred Sheng. Well, and in the previous joint effort, he seemed to be exerting his strength, but he actually held back. Under the gaze of everyone, Goof's figure did not move at all, and his palm was slowly raised, and the terrifying chi filled the air. The two palms collided, and the strong chi storm destroyed the sleeves of Goof and Hun Misheng. Then, the two of them took 2 steps back at the same time. Obviously, no one got the upper hand. Goof, you are very good. You are worthy of being a person that the senior leaders of our clan attach great importance to. After a trial move, Hun Misheng's face was slightly solemn, but there was no panic in his words. Did you think that the previous joint effort was to find out my strength? If that's the case, then now, perhaps I should surprise you. Hun Misheng glanced at Gu Nanhai, who came over with an indifferent look, and then his eyes stopped on Goof, but he smiled strangely. Then, he raised his palm and gently changed a handprint. As this handprint was formed, Hun Misheng's aura suddenly surged in the midst of shocked eyes. In just a few seconds, Hun Misheng actually directly broke through the barrier of the late 4-star level. In a faint way, he reached the early 5-starred Sheng level. 5-starred Sheng. Feeling Hun Misheng's aura suddenly becoming stronger, Gu Nanhai and Xun'er's faces suddenly became ugly. Hun Misheng had actually been hiding his own strength all along. Hun Misheng, you have reached the 5-starred Sheng level and yet you dare to take action. It seems that you have thrown the agreement between the ancient races into nothingness. Gu Nanhai said in a low voice. If Hun Misheng was only the late 4-star level, then he and the weak Goof would not be afraid of joining forces. But if the other party became a 5-starred Sheng, then this time I'm afraid it will be troublesome. Openly violating the clan agreement, does the Hun clan want to be enemies with all the ancient races? In addition to the two parties involved, only Huozi of the Yan clan spoke for Goof at this time. At this moment, she didn't think about those complicated things. She just wanted Goof to be safe. Damn Yan clan Jr. Listening to Huozi's words, Hun Misheng's eyes flashed with a trace of haze. I just stepped into the level of 5-starred Sheng by chance. To be honest, I am not a real 5-starred Sheng, so the agreement is not broken. But at this time, he did not argue with Huozi, but just smiled lightly, and then without saying any nonsense, he stepped on the void, step by step, approaching Goof, with murderous intent on his body. However, in the sight, Goof's expression still did not show any panic. Delay will change. Hun Misheng had a bad premonition in his heart, and his figure flashed quickly, wanting to kill Goof as soon as possible. Friend Goof, this time, I will repay the previous rescue. Suddenly, a hoarse voice sounded. Then, a skinny hand suddenly appeared in front of Goof, and with a flick of his finger, it actually bounced Hun Misheng's hand away. Who are you? Hun Misheng looked at the skinny figure that suddenly appeared in front of him, and shouted with gloomy eyes. Although his status in the Soul Clan is not low, it is too far away from the era when Yuan existed. Therefore, it is impossible to recognize the person in front of him at a glance. It turned out to be Blood Axe Xiao Chen, the one who killed you. Xiao Chen is a man of few words, and he didn't say anything nonsense at this moment. He just stepped on the void, step by step. And with every step he took, his aura would rise higher and higher like the surging waves. 4-star peak, 5-star early stage, 5-star middle stage. Who is this person? He actually has the terrifying cultivation of a 5-star Sheng in the middle stage. It seems that this person can't be from the ancient clan. With this person here, it's impossible for Hun Sheng to kill Master Gu Fei. The elders of the 4 clans, the Thunder Clan, the Medicine Clan, the Spirit Clan, and the Stone Clan, were filled with great doubts. Who are you? If you offend my Soul Clan, no matter which faction you belong to, you will be uprooted. Have you ever thought about the consequences? Hun Sheng looked panicked, and actually used the threatening words commonly used in the Soul Palace. Chatter. Facing Hun Sheng's threat, Dao Chen frowned. He grasped the void with his palm, and a huge blood shadow condensed in his palm, and in the blink of an eye it condensed into a huge blood axe. With a turn of his palm, the blood axe instantly tore through the space, bringing a sonic boom, and chopped at Hun Sheng fiercely as fast as lightning. Chapter 249, The Soul Clan's Backup Plan. The strong man falls into disgrace. Damn you, Hun Sheng shouted angrily. From the momentum, one could feel that Dao Chen's attack was very fierce. After saying that, he bulged his mouth fiercely, and a black light ball about half a foot in size was quickly ejected from his mouth. Inside the black light ball, there were bursts of shrill screams, as if countless souls were devouring each other in it. Swish! The black light ball had just been spit out. The blood light from Dao Chen's axe hit it. In just a moment, a bloodline spread on the black light ball, and then with a bang, it slowly split into 2 halves. Puff! Hun Sheng spat out a mouthful of blood, and his face turned pale and hurriedly retreated. Dao Chen's attack was so fierce that it was unbelievable. Wherever the blood axe passed, it seemed that even the sky and the earth could be split by it. 3 axes to break the sky. Dao Chen took advantage of the situation to pursue. In his hand, the huge blood axe swung out 3 times in a row. The next moment, 3 bloodlines rushed out from the space. The bloodlines seemed thin, but even Hun Sheng felt an extremely strong sense of crisis from them. Soul burial technique. Hun Sheng's body shook, and his soul actually floated out from the center of his eyebrows. Immediately, the arms of the soul actually exploded strangely. Woo woo! The overwhelming black fog suddenly emerged, covering the sky and the sun. Bang bang bang! 3 bloodlines tore through the heavy black clouds. The first 2 were blocked by the black fog. The last one shot to the center of the black fog. Ah! A shrill scream rang out. The black clouds in the sky froze, and then they retreated at a speed visible to the naked eye. The black clouds retreated, and everyone looked over and gasped. Only 3 axes were enough to create a huge wound on a strong man like Hun Sheng. Not dead? Dao Chen seemed very surprised. Obviously, Dao Chen did not expect that Hun Sheng, whose cultivation was weaker than his, could survive the 3 axes of Potian. This was very rare. Asshole! The injured Hun Sheng looked at Dao Chen with fire in his eyes. This was the first time he was hit so hard in so many years. Palace Master, how are you? Palace Master. At this time, Hun Feng and the others finally rushed over to check on Hun Sheng. If Hun Sheng was dead, then the 2 of them could not protect the pure lotus demon fire. Don't worry, I'm not dead yet. Hun Sheng took out a bottle of medicine and poured it on the hideous wound, and bursts of white mist rose. At this time, Hun Sheng hesitated for a moment, and then suddenly shouted in a certain direction, Mo Lao, you have watched the show for so long, it's time to take action, right? What? Did the Soul Clan arrange for strong people to enter the demon fire space? I should have guessed it long ago. Since they want to kill Master Gu Fei, they must have made sufficient arrangements. Hearing Hun Sheng's words, many strong people from the ancient races were talking about it. Their eyes searched everywhere. They wanted to know where the Soul Clan's help was. Gu Fei was not surprised at this situation. He had expected that the Soul Clan had a backup. Hun Sheng, I didn't expect you to be so useless. I am so disappointed. When many people were looking for you. In this void, a low sigh of an old man finally sounded. An old man in gray, shaking his head, walked out slowly with a look of disappointment. As he walked out, his face also changed a lot. A pair of long black eyebrows drooped down, looking extremely weird. Old soul demon, it's you? Do you really want to break the agreement? Seeing this black-browed old man, Gu Nanhai and other elders of the ancient races all looked ugly. Originally, Hun Sheng was a 5-star early Sheng, and they tolerated it, but now, They actually sent a 5-star late shank. This is basically ignoring the clan agreement. The Soul Clan is too shameless. Huozi cursed without hiding her anger. Just now, Dao Chen helped Gu Fei, and she finally breathed a sigh of relief, but she didn't expect the Soul Clan to be so unscrupulous this time. The old soul demon has been famous for a long time. Such a person actually arranged to attack and kill a younger generation, which is simply too shameless. Haha. My Soul Clan and the ancient clan have a deep hatred. In extraordinary times, we naturally use extraordinary means. The clan agreement is not impossible to break. The black-browed old man known as the Old Soul Demon heard the criticism of the crowd, but he didn't care and smiled faintly. He understood that even if the clan covenant was violated today, the people of other ancient races would at most say a few words and would not really take action. Old demon, hurry up and take action, Hun Mish urged with a gloomy face. Haha, Hun Mish, I didn't expect you to have no power to fight back in this person's hands. The old soul demon's words were full of sarcasm. Don't rely on your age in front of me. Don't you look at who this person is. After a fight, Hun Mish finally guessed Dao Chen's true identity. At this moment, Dao Chen did not retreat because of the appearance of the old soul demon, and still walked slowly. You should be the blood axe Dao Chen of the Xiao clan. I didn't expect that you would live to this day, but it's also your blessing. If you were in the Xiao clan, your end would be almost the same as Yuan. The old soul demon raised his head and looked at Dao Chen, who was walking slowly with a huge blood axe on his shoulder, with a cold luster in his eyes. What's wrong with cousin Yuan? Hearing someone mention the Xiao clan, Dao Chen stopped and asked, Haha, it seems you don't know yet. Your Xiao clan was destroyed by my Soul Clan 1,000 years ago and no longer exists. Yuan also died at the hands of my clan leader. The soul demon old man laughed a few times. He didn't deliberately make up anything. After all, with so many people present, it was unlikely to deceive something. How could cousin Yuan die? Hearing this, Dao Chen subconsciously didn't believe it, and a hint of doubt appeared in his eyes. He knew very well the strength of his cousin. Unless the emperor took action, no one could threaten him. What's more, there were so many strong people in the Xiao clan back then, how could they be destroyed by the Soul Clan? You don't believe it? You can ask other people present to see if your Xiao clan still exists. After the soul demon old man finished speaking, Dao Chen turned sideways and looked at Gu Fei, who rescued him. Senior Dao Chen, this is indeed true. The Xiao clan is already dead in name only. Gu Fei nodded. Back then, in order to be promoted to D, Yuan sacrificed the bloodline power of his entire clan. In the end, he failed and was ambushed by the Soul Clan. Unfortunately, he died. After getting Gu Fei's confirmation, Dao Chen's eyes dimmed in an instant. At this moment, he was filled with regret. He regretted not being able to fight for the Xiao clan at that critical moment for the race. Chapter 250 Zi Yan, who dares to touch him while I am here? Okay. I won't waste my time talking to you. Today, I will definitely kill this person from the ancient clan. If you stop me, I will kill you too. As soon as the words fell, the old soul demon's body disappeared from the spot. When he appeared again, he was very close to Gu Fei, but at this moment, Dao Chen, who had been in a trance, recovered his eyes and blocked Gu Fei again. This time, Dao Chen was not only to protect Gu Fei, but also to avenge his blood feud. Blood Axe Dao Chen, your name was indeed very loud in the past, but now you are a little outdated. Looking at Dao Chen, who was blocking Gu Fei, the old soul demon's old face showed a sinister look, and said with disdain, whether it is over or not, we will know after fighting. Dao Chen's face was still so old-fashioned, but his heart was a little more solemn. No matter how unpleasant the words of the old soul demon were, they always made some sense. If he had practiced normally until now, he would not have taken the old soul demon seriously at all. As a former genius of the Xiao clan, he had such pride and confidence. But unfortunately, the truth is always cruel. Trapped in the illusion for thousands of years, it was not easy for him to keep his life, and the improvement of strength was extremely slow. This led to the fact that the old soul demon, who was originally considered a junior, was now better than him. Come on, today, let me kill you, the remnant of the Xiao clan, and it will be a great achievement. Hearing this, the old soul demon laughed strangely, and his clothes fluttered without wind. The vast and surging fighting spirit surged out from his body. For a time, The sky above this magma sea was covered with black fog, which was extremely terrifying. What a terrifying pressure! Feeling this terrible fighting spirit pressure, there was a cry of surprise around. Many strong men subconsciously retreated away, in order to avoid being affected by the fight between the two. Zhao Chen's eyes did not retreat, but gradually a hot heat rose. Those who offend the power of the Zhao clan shall die. Zhao Chen raised the bloody axe in his hand and roared in a low voice. His momentum was not weak at all. Soon, the old soul demon collided with Zhao Chen, and the might was earth-shattering. Let me see what kind of strength the bloody axe Zhao Chen has now. Facing Zhao Chen's powerful attack, the old soul demon sneered. He shook his sleeves, and dozens of dark white bone chains shot out violently. As the black mist gushed out, a white spider web quickly formed in front of him, allowing the huge axe to chop down angrily. Squeak! The huge axe chopped on the web, and the strong power contained in it was quickly removed, and the speed of the huge axe's fall was also getting slower and slower, as if it was stuck in a quagmire. In the end, it finally solidified when it was only half a foot away from the forehead of the old soul demon. Bloody axe Zhao Chen, nothing more than that. Seeing that Zhao Chen could not break his defense, the old soul demon showed a hint of sarcasm on his face. Is that so? Hearing this, Zhao Chen's eyes flashed red, and a trace of blood suddenly appeared on the blood-colored axe blade, and the axe chopped down again. The bone net, as flexible as silk, was cut open directly and lightly, and the axe blade was wiped at the throat of the old soul demon like lightning. The sudden change also made the old soul demon slightly startled, but the panic was only for a moment, and his palm drew a strange arc, and it was directly attached to the axe. Then he casually slapped it, and there was a loud bang, and the huge blood axe was actually slapped away by his palm. I wonder if Senior Zhao Chen can defeat the old soul demon. Xun'er came behind Gu Fei, looking at the battlefield over there, her eyes full of worry. How stupid! On the other side, Hun Misheng's eyes were full of anger, and he was very dissatisfied with the old soul demon's behavior of deliberately provoking Zhao Chen. Originally, Zhao Chen didn't know about the extermination of the clan, and didn't hate the Soul Clan that much. Now that he knows about this, he might even be able to improve his fighting power and his rage. It seems that we can only put our hope on Elder Hun Ji, Hun Misheng murmured in his heart. And just as he sighed in his heart, the area where Gu Fei was suddenly became cold and gloomy. Young man, die! An old man in a black robe suddenly appeared, and slapped Gu Fei with a palm full of terrifying fighting spirit. What? This sudden scene shocked everyone present. No one expected that the Soul Clan would arrange two backup plans to kill Gu Fei. Not only did they send out the Soul Demon Elder, a 5-starred Sheng late-stage strongman, but there was also another 5-starred Sheng lurking here to attack and kill. Who dares to touch him when I'm here? At this moment, a crisp female voice sounded, and then a figure in a black cloak blocked Gu Fei. The man just casually waved his palm and slapped the sudden attacking Soul Clan strongman away. 6-starred Sheng. How is this possible? The Soul Clan Sheng who was slapped away by the mysterious man spat out blood, and his eyes were filled with extreme fear. Could it be that the ancient clan had already made preparations? Seeing this scene, Hun Misheng's face instantly became extremely ugly. This time, they set a trap for Gu Fei to kill him. Even if it was the pure lotus demon fire, it was not as important as killing Gu Fei. But they did not expect that the ancient clan would actually ignore the clan agreement and send out a 6-starred Sheng. Everyone has seen it. The ancient clan sent out a 6-starred Sheng to fight for the pure lotus demon fire this time, completely ignoring the agreement. All Hun Misheng could do at this time was to put a hat on the head of the ancient clan. No, she is not from my ancient clan. Xun'er shook her head. She was very familiar with the crisp voice that just sounded. This time, the clan really has no other arrangements. Who is this person? It sounds a bit like. Gu Nanhai frowned, and he also felt a little familiar with the person who helped. Noisy, the man in black said impatiently after hearing what Hun Misheng said, and then he flashed to the side of the Soul Clan Dashing who was knocked away. Bang! A palm strike without any fancy moves hit the Soul Clan Dashing again, and this time everyone heard the sound of bones breaking. A 5-star Dashing couldn't even resist under the hands of this mysterious strong man. Elder Hun Ji, seeing this scene, Hun Misheng, Hun Feng and others were so angry that they wanted to burst their eyes. but they could do nothing. Damn it, the ancient clan was prepared. The old soul demon who was originally fighting with Chen, after noticing the situation over there, did not care about fighting with Chen, and rushed towards the black-robed man. Another one is looking for death. The black-robed man did not move, raised his hand and slapped, and a purple gold light seal burst out, sweeping straight towards the old soul demon. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.